Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 9 of Pro Wrestling Talk. Alongside my co hosts, Miss Witchy Perfect over here. My two guests are down here. They're Dee and Greg. So, welcome. Thank you both for coming on tonight and reviewing WrestleMania and talking about all the other crap that went on in wrestling this week. So, thank
Let's
you
get
both.
into it.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Let's
Yeah.
get into it.
All right, so I'm gonna start with WrestleMania Night One. We're gonna go down the card real quick. I'm not gonna spend too much time on Night One because Night One sucked.
Yeah.
But in the first match, we had Rhea Ripley defending the women's world title against Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley went over; she pinned Lynch as she should have. It was a fine opener. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because it was okay. Becky is not really a good wrestler. She's more of a personality, I think. So
It was a showcase for Rhea Ripley.
yes, that's what it was, and that's
Got
exactly what it
a
needed to
live
be.
entrance and everything. That was her big moment. Get
Okay.
Y'all need real fans, not casuals. I don't know what you're talking about, Tony, but thank you for joining us anyways.
I think he means AEW.
That's AEW fans. I mean, I wouldn't mind having an AEW fan on to debate, but so far no takers.
I mean,
So
I am an AEW fan. I'm just a very realistic AEW fan. You know what I mean? But yeah, it would be
y'all
fun
didn't
to
even know who Julia was. I know who Julia was.
Yeah, we know
What are you
Julia.
talking
She's
about?
over in WWE. She got a debut on
Yeah,
Stand and Deliver. She's probably the
yeah.
best pro over there in
I,
Stardom.
I never seen her wrestle, but I know who she is.
Mm.
So what do you guys think of the Becky Lynch match? Did you like it?
Jim Cornette said it was okay. He
It
really
was good
liked
for what it
Rhea
was.
Ripley, in
Like I said,
this.
it
Yeah, it was fine.
put Rhea Ripley over against the top star.
Yeah, they ain't had no
Yeah.
issues whatsoever.
No,
Yeah.
they're not gonna.
Not
She's not
bad.
gonna drop those belts.
Not,
All right,
I don't
so
know.
that
It's
was
not her
Rhea
time. It's
Ripley.
not her time to drop the belt yet.
Not even close.
Yeah.
all right. In the second match, it was the six pack challenge, ladder match, tag team title
Yeah.
match,
Predictable. I
and
think we all called this one on
yeah,
our
I mean they split the
show.
tag team titles. It was obvious when they first showed the tag team titles, they were both separate
Yeah.
on separate hooks. I'm like, they're gonna split the tag team titles. I
Oh,
mean, they just
jeez.
gave it away there,
I
and
wish they would just combine them and just have one set of tag team belts to float around both shows. I don't think they have
yeah.
enough tag teams to support two different
Yeah, I'm
divisions.
surprised they. I knew they would go in that direction, but I'm surprised that they did because they don't
Hopefully
have
they,
enough tag teams.
hopefully they unite them eventually.
Eh. And it was Judgment Day and Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, New Day, Awesome Truth, DIY, blah blah blah. So who won the SmackDown one? I forget.
Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
Yeah,
Austin. Yep.
Waller. They
Yeah,
won pretty early.
Oh.
Like, oh wow. And then the Raw ones were won by Awesome Truth. The match itself was just a spot fest, and I
yeah.
counted at least 3 or 4 times where tag teams could have grabbed the tag team
Oh,
title.
I tweet.
Instead, they jumped off the ladder like
It was
idiots.
so
way
stupid.
outside.
It was like they're prioritizing going through
Spots.
tables and ladders.
Stupid
Yeah.
spots.
Like
They were
setting up
there.
the ladders and getting the
I think-
belts. It was silly.
I think it was DIY and New Catch Republic and New
like
Day.
they weren't even
They were all
trying to
there.
win.
They
They
were
weren't
right
trying
there
to win
instead.
at all.
Yeah. Instead, they all like jumped off the fucking ladder, went
They're
to a
just doing
table.
spots,
Yeah, for no reason.
which I mean
And
looked
the-
painful. So I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
it looked. It was like, oh wow, that's a good
some of them
spot.
looked really
but
painful. So I mean, I guess
Well, and I
But I
hated
really-
that in the Attitude Era. They would do that all the time.
yeah,
With those tag teams, the Hardy Boys,
yeah, that stuff
Dudley
was hot
Boys.
shotted 20 years ago. Now it
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Now it's just
Might as well just give them a suplex. They're both gonna kick
Yeah,
out.
when I was watching, right, and when I was watching it, it's
what's
like,
that?
I mean, I enjoyed it, for what it was.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. It was just
eh,
it's stupid.
Everybody
watching
got their
guys do
drinks.
shit that might hurt them.
Oh yeah, I got mine down here. I just haven't touched it yet. All right, so that's that.
Gotta hydrate.
I don't know where Tony Banana's coming from. But we didn't know who Julia was, but okay, I'm not gonna keep arguing with you.
I'm glad
The
he's
next
here, right?
match. Who?
I mean, like
Yeah.
Julia Hart.
No, it's
Julia,
No,
Girl from
okay.
Stardom.
Japanese wrestler. She just came
Oh.
over and signed with WWE. All
Okay.
right, and the next match was Rey Mysterio and I'm about to say Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. It was what it was. It was fine, but I joked around the internet that Rey Mysterio is never going to put over his son because he beat him twice at WrestleMania.
I know, right?
Okie dokie.
Dom's one of those heels that his win-loss record's not going to matter. He's always going to be able to get heat.
No, yeah, I agree, but I'm
And
just
I mean,
saying.
it's just a moment for them to show off. Like, all right, here's another one of your guys. Here's another
Yeah, I
AEW
agree,
guy
but
on WrestleMania.
we
But I
all
mean,
at least
Dominic is very hated. Why would you not get him over?
I know I thought his dad would put him over this time around, but he didn't. Ray, he actually pinned. Who did he pin? I know he
Escobar?
got the pin. I think. Yeah, I think it was Escobar. At least he didn't beat his son again. But
I mean, the only thing I could think that Dominic didn't get like the W because maybe they were setting up for Damien, not to take the spotlight away from him.
that was night 2 though, so I don't think that would have
I
affected
mean,
that.
Yeah.
So I think Ray just doesn't want to put over his son. He's like his ego is getting in the way.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Next year.
Second generation there, Ray. You got to step out sometime.
Yeah, he said he would retire by the time he's 50.
I think that's why, because he knows once he does that, he's
Mass
probably
versus hair.
retired.
Interesting.
Probably not ready to retire yet.
Yeah,
an interesting concept. Mass versus hair.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's an interesting concept. I would
That's
probably.
what I thought. I thought they were going to do that, but
He could retire next year at WrestleMania and put over his son there, but it seems like I would have put him over this year. I mean, I don't know. I mean, 1-1 and then have the third match at next year's WrestleMania or something, but nope, I guess not. All right, well, we'll get past that. The fourth match was probably the worst match on the card, night 1. Jey Uso versus Jimmy. I don't want to.
Those super kicks. I'm
I knew I
telling
wasn't
you.
going to like this just based off the tag.
Those super kicks were half-assed, and they looked like
awful.
they were. Yeah, it looked like it was all choreographed.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just face it. I mean, yes, wrestling is kind of like a dance, but I mean, boys, make it look real at least.
Or just stop doing the same dance move over and over again.
Yeah, I mean that super kick was half-assed.
Go away and learn a new hold.
Exactly.
Jim Ross
exactly right.
It was just a
We're on the
super
same
kick.
wavelength.
It was a super kick exhibition, and
but everybody knew. I mean, like nobody was surprised. That's all they do.
Yeah.
They're tag team wrestlers. They're not singles wrestlers. They get exposed, especially Jimmy. Jimmy gets exposed when he wrestles singles matches.
But that was the thing back in our era, guys, is that, I mean, even if they were tag team, like, for example, I'm going to say this, Bret Hart. I mean, Bret knew how to wrestle with Jim. Jim knew how to wrestle with Bret, Jim Neidhart. But they both were really great at singles matches. So if you can't be like that, sorry, boys, you can't. That's the line.
They shouldn't be neither of them should be wrestling singles matches.
Stop
but
blowing
Jey
the bar.
Uso's so over, but nobody likes Jey Uso's matches. You know what I mean? Have you ever listened to people? They like he's got a lot of he's over as hell.
Everybody does this with him. He's over.
It's like that's all that's over about him. Like nobody enjoys a Jey Uso singles match.
Jey Uso. Main event Jey Uso. I know they gave him that nickname, main event.
They're trying to push him as a single.
They're trying.
They wanted,
the thing with Bret started as a single, and then they made him a tag team. So Jay and Jimmy were always a tag team. So they never had. They never had. Yeah, exactly. In Stampede, they never had that singles experience on their own for a long period of time. So I don't think they should ever be.
I mean, I agree. If Jey Uso wants to be a top guy, he needs to fix that super kick because
that wasn't Owen versus Bret.
No, that was awful.
Tried to make it Owen versus Bret.
And they did some crazy shit, but it looked good because they were both second generation. And isn't Jey Uso and Jimmy, aren't they both second generation?
Yeah, they were Rikishi's son.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, they're one of them.
And I think and then there's Solo's big brothers too.
Yeah, he's one of the
they're Solo big brothers. We'll get to Solo on SmackDown, man. That was interesting what he did there. But that was an awful match. I mean, that was just a super kick exhibition and a splash finish.
They were half-assed and they looked fake.
At least the right guy won. Jey Uso won.
Yeah,
that was awful. Yeah. So the next match was the 6-woman tag. I always say man, but it's woman. Jade Cargill, Bianca, and Naomi versus Damage Control, which of course it was a show off Jade Cargill, and she did her job, and they won.
Yeah, I don't have any.
She's got 3 moves.
3 moves. That's right.
If she does them well, she can be a star. Look at Goldberg; he had 3 or 4 moves.
Yeah, but it took him time. He really sucked in the beginning, and he was hurting guys. I would hate to see her hurt a bunch of ladies because she doesn't know what she's doing and she got 3 moves.
She should be able to do more. She's been hidden away.
She's been at
the performance.
She's been at the PC for a while, so she should be able to do more than 3.
be able to do more. So
I think what they're doing is they're slowly exposing her, and eventually she'll start doing more
they don't want to
moves
show any weakness at all.
Yeah, not right now,
Don't
and it
want
makes
to show
sense.
any weakness at all.
You should.
But they're being a
she
little
should
too
be.
careful. I think. I think they're being a
It
little
could
too
be.
careful.
Yeah, I could. If
Because
she's
she used
ready
to wrestle 10-minute matches in AEW, like on pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
did,
can
but...
do it. If she has the right dance partner.
Yeah. All right. So that match is that match, whatever. And the next match, Gunther defending the Intercontinental title against Sami Zayn. This was a good match. I mean, the match itself. I'm not talking about the finish. The match itself was good.
Yeah, the match.
But the finish was. It was like it was a
I was
total
waiting
letdown.
for you to say that, Angel.
I don't know why you beat Gunther.
Yeah, they beat him, and
there's many different ways they could have got the belt off him.
Right. Well, and they were saying on the internet that they're going to elevate him, and I said, well, you guys realize they're also elevating Sami Zayn too, right?
And he's already had multiple moments.
For the exceptions of Rick Rude and Curt Hennig, usually the IC belt means you get lifted up to the heavyweight belt. But now they got two of them, which I'm confused on what the fuck that's all about. But anyway, back in our day, it was the IC belt elevates you to the heavyweight belt.
Usually. Not always the case, but usually.
I don't know why they beat Gunther. Like, he was undefeated. Like, I don't know why. That's like such a big draw.
And he looked better. He was like the ultimate heel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good match. So Sammy sold his ass off and made Gunther like $1 million. And then all of a sudden he hits the top rope brainbuster, which looked brutal. At least
my god, yeah. I'm like, what was that botched?
I saw it from a different angle, and it looked a lot safer than it did from the angle they showed.
Okay, well, if that's how it's supposed to look, good,
he did it
but
right.
It looked like he botched it.
No, they did it right.
He did it right.
Okay.
And
Sammy Takeshita did it very wrong.
Sammy only busted out during big matches now. He doesn't do it every week, which is good because you don't want to bury that.
I don't think I've ever seen Sammy do that, but I haven't followed his career.
He did in Ring of Honor when he was El Generico.
That's what I read. But I had never
Sammy was a wild boy back when he was an Eddie or whatever he came.
El Generico, he was he was in a white mask and mute. He wouldn't talk at all.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and as you said, Angel, you kind of knew what the stuff was going to hit the fan when you saw the wife and the child in the back.
Like,
so,
oh, shit.
I mean, they're not
Kevin
going
Owens
to.
in the.
Kevin Owens humped him up. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to do it twice in front of his wife.
They're telling Rocky 3. They're literally telling Rocky 3.
Yeah, that story
with Chad Gable being Apollo Creed.
Yes.
Yeah,
and now
they're ripping off the Rocky 3 thing.
That was what Rocky was promised. Or Rocky promised Apollo Creed a title shot or our fight if he trained him. That's exactly what he's doing right.
It's happening next week on Raw. Sami Zayn and
I
Gable
think Gable wins.
He needs that IC belt, Gable, especially if you want to elevate him.
But then it makes me even more mad that they beat Gunther.
Why would
like, why the fuck did you do that?
If Sami Zayn is just there to transition the belt to Gable, why not just have Gable in the match?
So mad.
Well, and they said, they said that they're just elevating Gunther. Well, okay, but
after losing, they're
gonna put him in the heavyweight belt after
he just lost his title.
I agree with Tony. Raw right now.
He's Raw. Okay, so I mean, he can go after.
I agree with
Damien.
I agree with Tony too.
Yeah, Sammy was already
Damian Priest is the world champion, and Jey Uso #1 contender, by the way, for that world title. So we'll get to that.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now you have Gunther lose, but you're not going to elevate him. No, you have to elevate him now.
I think they're waiting for the draft to tell any real long-term stories.
Okay, well, I mean, and that's the other thing. The draft, and people are probably going to move. People who are on Raw
everybody's
go to
moving
SmackDown,
around,
and people on SmackDown are probably going to go to Raw. So
unless there was a feud already bleeding into this, they're not going to start any long-term stories until the draft. So
I wouldn't be surprised if
Uso's obviously going to lose. I mean,
he's there to get beat by Damian Priest.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve that elevation yet.
Yeah,
I can't believe he's the #1 contender.
It was more so due to the storytelling between
McIntyre and Punk. Yeah, so we'll get to that.
We're elevating Jay. Jay was just the lucky guy in that.
Well, and I have some things to say about Raw because was it SmackDown? Somebody came out in SmackDown and is trying to be leader. So when we get to SmackDown, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Solo's trying to take over the bloodline, but
all right, it's like a mafia split. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
mafia power.
Exactly how I would put it.
They literally
get more
doing
family members into this.
Yeah. They're doing the NWO Black and White versus the NWO Wolfpack.
Red and Black,
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a bloodline civil war, throughout the year.
And
but we'll get to the main event, which was the tag match: Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Of course, The Rock, dominated the match and he beat Cody Rhodes. So
this went on for so long.
It did, and my only gripe, it's just a gripe. I'm sorry, I know it was awesome.
I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the match.
I enjoyed it too. It's just my only gripe was that guys, come on, the Attitude Era was 20 years ago, almost 30 years ago.
Almost 30. Yeah.
Going through announce tables, going through the barricades.
Oh
I mean,
my
come
God,
on, guys.
the announce table spot was so overdone.
We are so over the announce table. It's always the Spanish announce table, and it's like, okay,
it's a rib at this point. It's always Spanish announce table.
Right.
They play
ridiculous how many times they did the announce table spot. And now they have two of them. They got the Spanish announce booth, so they got two announce tables.
Yeah, they got two.
It was always, but in the 90s, it was always the Spanish announce table.
Yeah, that was the rib. I mean,
that was the big rib. Table. That it was always the Spanish announce table.
We need real glass. I mean, AEW would agree with you. AEW would agree with you, though.
Yeah,
it was a good match.
It was a great match. That was my little gripe.
Of course, Rocky dominated the match, and the finish was kind of weird because Roman had him beat with the spear, and The Rock did this, and Roman looked like kind of a chump when he tagged in Rock, and he did his rock bottom people's elbow and just pinned Cody, no problem.
Well, didn't someone stop the people's elbow?
The first time, Cody stopped it, and then Cody got booed a little bit because they want to see the people's elbow.
And I'm like, guys, you do know that the the people's elbow was just for something. It was a rib for the Undertaker.
It was a rib on the Undertaker. You're trying to make him laugh.
So over though. I remember
it did get so over. Yes, when the Rock was a pure baby face. Yes, but now you never can tell. Sometimes it gets cheered, sometimes it gets booed. But what really got me was if you count, you're fired. I was thinking, screw you, I'm gonna count. Fire me, I don't care.
Yeah, they almost had me. They almost had me by this much when the Roman did the spear and hit the Rock, and I'm like, okay, okay.
They were teasing something there. It didn't happen.
I think it's gonna be Rock versus Roman. Rock versus Roman, yeah.
I was like, here we go.
Yeah, and they're gonna do that bloodline civil war. I mean, Solo's already trying to take over the bloodline, and Roman's gone, and he's intimidating Paul Heyman into accepting him as new tribal chief. So
is it gonna be the tribal chief or the final boss? I mean, that's good storytelling there, no doubt about that. I just didn't like the barricade and the rock bottom through the announce table. Those were my only gripes. Otherwise, it was good.
And I was watching so I got to watch the Roman documentary that Paul Heyman produced.
Yeah, I watched that too.
I enjoyed it. So my understanding, Jay was the first one from all of them to be the wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Roman is still trying to be a football player.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
The Usos got into business first, and then later it was Roman after a couple of years because when he had his cancer. Yeah, when he's diagnosed with his cancer, his football career is pretty much over.
Roman Reigns had cancer?
Leukemia. No, he still has leukemia.
It's still in his body. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's working all these years with leukemia. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my gosh.
It's pretty wild when you look at the guy and he doesn't look like someone who got cancer.
No.
Not at all.
I mean, he's built. There's no doubt about that. That he's definitely built like a wrestler. But I mean, enough with the title.
Well, he did drop it. We'll get to night two, but
but I mean, he's not Hogan. Okay, nobody's Hogan other than Hogan. I mean, let's just put it in perspective. I mean, I didn't like Hogan, but you got to admit it was Hogan, right?
Yeah,
he did the brother.
He to the next level.
Right.
He did the brother. He was charismatic as all hell. He had the 8 to 12 minute match. He would pose, do this, and then he would walk
Yeah.
away. You know?
And
People loved
he
it.
could still sell pay-per-views.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
it
He knew you
reminds
were
me
going to
of
get
the
a
whole,
good wrestling
Lex
match.
Express. The Lex Luger tried to be
But
Hogan
Luger
2.0.
Luger wasn't anywhere near charismatic as Hogan was, so he couldn't pull it
True.
off.
No, Luger was
True.
At all.
heel.
Oh.
You know,
And I'd like to think, but I mean, no offense to Roman Reigns, did he even show up half the time? I mean, I know a champion that he would defend the. I think Jim and
He-
Brian were talking about this, that he only defended the title 30 times out of 30, 365 days.
I don't really mind that.
He
Really?
defended it.
Champ.
I mean, because
He defended it.
If you don't need to have him on TV every week, don't.
He defended it 60, 70 times in 3.5 years. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I like the way. I mean, I don't
mind
I'm
that
sorry.
either.
I'm
but
used to,
he could have been
because
there a
even
little
Hogan
more,
was on certain times.
but I didn't mind Roman not being there
I
every
don't.
week because it made it more special when he was
Yeah,
there.
when he
And
showed
got
up, it was
ratings.
special.
I
But-
guess how can we like you
has
if you
enough
won't
guys
go
that
away?
don't have
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
you know,
Now he'll go away and be gone
overexpose
for
him,
months and months.
like when MJF was world champ, like he was so overexposed, and he
Yes,
started to not become a draw anymore.
Tony overexposed
He had him
MJF.
within like 5 different
Oh, yeah.
It
storylines.
was awful.
Yeah, as a
Yeah,
baby.
cancer sucks. That's definitely true. Luckily, Roman's still with us and looks healthy.
He looks great.
Didn't cancer kill OJ? I know OJ died. I don't know what it was.
I think it was cancer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I mean, no offense, but
I
OJ and
I'm not that broken up about his death. So
yeah, I was gonna say
No,
OJ
no.
and Roman Reigns are two different people. I'm sure Roman Reigns is a nicer person.
Yeah,
in real life.
I guess because OJ was in the news recently, that was probably on his mind.
The least amount of title defenses, but due to his leukemia, it worked. I mean, I don't know because leukemia didn't have any title defenses, or it was because it was just his contract because he agreed to a new contract where he had less dates.
Well, he gave up his title. Remember, he had a title run and he gave up his title because of it.
Yeah, that was 2018 when the cancer came back.
Yeah,
So he had to go
I wish
back
him all the best because I don't want to see. I don't like Roman Reigns, but I wouldn't want to see that on anybody. So please, Roman Reigns, get rid of it and beat it.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to night 2. The first match was the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. This was a good match
of the whole weekend.
This was a good match.
This was
with
my
CM Punk as the guest commentator. In the beginning,
it was a good match, and then Damian Priest came out on top.
I loved the way this all played
that's
out.
Because
CM Punk.
That was because of CM Punk continued that story.
Right.
Loved it. That's how you
CM Punk beat up.
And that that is good storytelling, getting Punk involved, and especially for the controversy that's been going on with the whole the backstage thing with Jack Perry and AEW. I think this is definitely going to get a lot of CM Punk people energized that he's finally back where he needs to be.
I'm looking forward to that feud, that match.
And I want to talk about that later when we get into that about
absolutely.
Overall,
yeah, we'll definitely get to that. I'm trying to get to WrestleMania.
They did some really good stuff here, and I don't usually say that.
We're all like AEW
I know
haters, and that's definitely not the case. Like we are well aware of wrestling being better because AEW's around, despite their many downfalls.
I didn't think so either. But
two wrestling promotions,
they
made WWE
need.
better. Like you can't really deny that. WWE sucked like in 2019.
It did. Yeah, they were doing really shitty stuff.
Vince was booking that shit.
Triple H being in charge, basically doing what AEW is trying to do 10 times better.
Which is ironic
I think
because
this is a new Triple H era. So I think good things are going to come. Just wait and see.
It's ironic because
it seems
it's
like
ironic because
babyface heel storytelling.
Yeah, it's ironic because
which is what we're used to.
Yeah,
because AEW promised a sports-based presentation, and they also promised great storytelling, which they did neither. They became WWE light when Vince is running it. That's how bad they are right now.
Storytelling in AEW is so poor and predictable.
Well, and here's the kicker. They got rid of all those wrestlers now because of budget cuts. Remember those? So WWE was on the front of doing that, but Now with Triple H,
Did you hear
or
Tony Khan said
Paul.
it's because he had to pay for a song to cost?
Yes, he paid. This is ridiculous. And I agree with Tony, by the way. Triple H and Shawn Michaels helped WWE, but this is ridiculous. The Death Before Dishonor show, which was on Friday night, WrestleMania week. The main event was Mark Briscoe versus somebody for the Ring of Honor title, and it was Eddie Kingston, wasn't it? He's the champion.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Tony Khan, as like a surprise, paid for his favorite song, his entrance at Ring of Honor, the original Ring of Honor, and paid $100,000 for the song. I'm like, it's just Mark
Ring
Briscoe.
Of Honor?
Yeah, for Ring of Honor show.
Yeah,
no, it was Ring of Honor.
I just heard the
it was fucking. What was the song? I forget right now, but it was some famous song that Mark Briscoe came out to, and the original Ring of Honor.
And it wasn't even for fucking AEW.
No, it was for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
500 people.
And Tony Khan
Pretty
became
much.
put the belt on him. Put a meaningless world title
those big
on him.
rings or arenas. Because they're
100,000.
not doing much. They're not putting butts in seats.
I wonder how much Tony Khan is paying, like, for, Carry On My Wayward Son and, the Orange Cassidy song.
They must be paying out the ass.
Yeah, that's...
pay the wrestlers, pay the wrestlers,
Tony's
not the stupid copyrights.
Yeah, pay the money to the wrestlers, because even though Mark Briscoe looks like a meth head, but I won't get into that too much. If you look at his picture, it looks like a meth head.
Well, ever since Jay was in that car accident,
gimmick,
I know it's his gimmick, but he looks like a meth head. Like he wouldn't be in WWE with that look. I'll tell you that much.
Well,
but maybe he doesn't belong there,
right?
Yeah.
Jay Briscoe.
Yeah, he died.
He passed away
in that car
accident.
Them as a tag team in AEW.
Because
Jim
Cornette, and I think they were exploiting them. Yes. Yeah.
Jim
I still don't think that Mark would look like that.
As a tag team. I never got to see any of those matches.
Jim Cornette was pushing them as the top tag team in Ring of Honor when he was booking.
Yeah. And because they said something on social media, which was
ridiculous. That was
ridiculous.
That was crap. And all of a sudden now they weren't on wrestling anymore.
I mean, we got.
And then I always said that I was sad when that shit happened.
I mean, social media wasn't around when our wrestlers were around, so I mean.
Oh God, I mean, they would have been canceled a million times over.
And I'm glad it wasn't. They probably
they would have been canceled a million times over.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So the next match was the Philadelphia Street Fight. I didn't really pay attention to this match. Yeah, it was the Pride. I didn't even know they had I didn't know they had the stable name. The Pride, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Akam Razor with Paul Ellering and the chick, whatever her name is.
Scarlett.
Right.
Paul Ellering.
Both those names
that name, I can't believe Paul Ellering is still around.
I know Paul Ellering's part of this group.
Is he part of? Isn't he like 100 years old? No offense.
Well, he was the manager for the Road Warriors.
Yes, he was back in AWA days.
But I think he was like 20 years old back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea, maybe putting Bianca and Jay with them, but they're going to be a tag team because on Raw, or SmackDown, we saw that.
They're going to be our new tag team.
Yeah.
Champions.
It's a big deal. They put Bobby with every,
black wrestler.
Sound funny, right? I was about to say that. Any black stable, everything. Bobby.
They put him with Bobby,
Right, and it's not like Bobby. With due respect, I like Bobby's look, but he doesn't have that Ron Simmons look, like
No, he's kind of clean cut. Ron Simmons was looked like a badass. Like he would drink, he would smoke.
He could do it. If I see Bobby do this, I'm like, yeah.
I just remember Ron Simmons with the headgear. I'm like, what's with the headgear?
Oh, when he was Farouk. That's when he first came in WWF.
When Sonny was his manager.
And Vince, the headgear.
And Vince gave him, "You're Farouk, pal. Here's a helmet. Make you look good."
That was so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. All right, Bubba Ray. I forgot to mention Bubba Ray Dudley, special referee, for no reason.
Oh yeah.
He
got a lot of.
He got a lot of. He got a good pop because he was in Philadelphia. So.
He was ECW.
Yeah, the next match was LA Knight versus AJ Styles, which was a good match.
It
was a good match.
LA Knight.
LA Knight defeated AJ Styles. Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Which he should have. It was the right decision.
He's on the move. I think they're going to somewhat elevate him, but I still think he's middle card at best right now.
I think he beats Logan Paul for the
definitely
title in Cleveland.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, he's the one that should beat Logan Paul probably at SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
Yeah, AJ, I think he's kind of over and done with.
Well, no, he's got a title match, doesn't he?
With Cody? No, not officially.
Oh,
because we'll get to SmackDown, but that's not officially. He still has to face LA Knight at next week's SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think his time has come and gone.
Well,
that's just my opinion.
He's probably gonna put over Cody in France in the end of the month or in May. So he's not gonna actually beat Cody, but he's. And the next match was the U.S. title 3-way: Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. I really liked this match. It was really good.
For a triple threat match, this was good.
Yeah. It was really good for a triple threat. Well, AJ's done. AJ's on his way out, Tony.
I'm not disrespecting him. I'm just saying
him.
His time has come and gone.
AJ to do in this,
Yeah,
he's already thinking about retirement.
Probably 10 years ago.
He's a guy that goes away and comes back for a month.
He was back in the early 2000s. I remember AJ just as I stopped watching.
Yeah.
Back in TNA.
Yeah, he will lose to Cody. Yes, he will. I mean, he's there to put over Cody, make him look good and strong in that match, which he will. I mean, he's still one of the best, even though he's almost retiring. But yeah, but I really like this triple threat. It was well done. And Logan Paul retained. Well, Logan Paul retained as he should have. I mean, there's no reason for him to drop the belt there. But he retained.
Logan works, man. Logan, he works. He put in work.
Yeah, he's really come. He's really stepped up his game.
What's amazing, he's only had 14, 15 matches, and he's working like
natural,
that.
Man. Like,
it's
but he's that
and I don't like
heel that everyone wants to hate.
Yes.
Girls want to be with him, and guys hate him because he's whatever. But I mean, he looks good. He's doing good things. I can see him elevated. Definitely.
He when he had Roman Reigns in his second match, he faced Roman Reigns for the world title. I'm like, holy crap, he's good. Yeah. It's only his second fucking match when they put him in that spot.
And this from a lady who only watches old wrestling because I just need a palate cleanser. Sorry.
Yeah, I get it. The modern wrestling mostly sucks. There's some good things.
AJ, geez, Logan Paul, he's doing good things. I can see good things happening for him.
He brings a lot of outside publicity.
Right.
Yes,
which is
he wants. And Prime, they had the Prime thing, his company, whatever. So it's all
Prime logo,
right? And both
the original. The original logo was terrible. I mean, the one they introduced on SmackDown, it was terrible. Yeah. The one they get at WrestleMania was actually good. It wasn't noticeable, which it's okay if it's there, but it's not noticeable. It was just a black outline. It said Prime, which is fine.
Yeah. And the only reason I'm singing the praises of Logan Paul is because he kind of impressed me, even though I wasn't much for the Elimination Chamber. He's still kind of he still kind of impressed me. I was kind of like, oh boy, wow.
Yeah, he's impressive.
Way better than he has any business being.
Yeah.
Right.
And let's get to this match real quick. Io Sky versus Bayley for the women's title. I didn't pay attention to this match too much.
I didn't either, but Jim Cornette said, his wife Stacy was watching it and she really liked Bayley. She really liked that match, and she really liked.
By this point, I was kind of hammered at this point. So I didn't but it was. I heard it was a good match, so I'm not really going to comment too much on it.
Oh, we got a drunk angel here.
At that point I was. Yeah.
You suck, Cody.
All right, so let's get to the main event, which was Roman Reigns against Cody for the world title, the WWE Championship. I mean.
And everybody thought Stone Cold was going to come out.
Well,
there was something about money. They couldn't agree on money.
It was a money issue, according to everybody.
According to everybody on X, it was a money issue.
I bet it was the Rock issue, not wanting to take the stunner.
I don't
think
he's done so many times before.
I don't think those guys like each other.
But he took the chokeslam for Undertaker, so
I think it's a Stone Cold thing. I think it's kind of personal with him. I think they have a rivalry.
I mean, I wasn't much for John Cena, especially after that thing at the Emmys or whatever.
Oh, the Academy Awards.
I was like, oh, come on, John, really? No offense, but nobody wants to see you naked.
Yeah, but this match reminded me of a movie. I mean, it was exactly
what we all asked for. and
Yeah, it was like like Avengers Endgame. Roman Cody came out with the mask and looked like a superhero. His wife came with him.
Yeah, and I honestly compared this to the Stone Cold WrestleMania 15 when he overcame over all the odds. I actually compared it to the Stone Cold thing, and I was telling my man, I said, this reminds me of the whole WrestleMania 15 Austin getting the belt back, and then the whole higher power thing happened with him. So I mean, the right person won, but my only gripe is, guys, why do you have to have 3 finishers or do the finishers multiple times? Either
sucks.
do it once and nobody kicks out, or don't have finishers.
Well, the thing is, they've already established that you can kick out of that finisher if you only do it one time.
Right. So why have finishers?
He kind of booked himself into him having to do it 3 times every time now.
Right.
Cody's buried his own finish.
This move sucks.
Yes, I was going to get to that.
You ain't beating nobody.
Then get a better finisher. I can count on my hand how many times.
Cody more than it hurts the opponent.
What is it? I can count on my hand how many people kicked out of the perfect plex, and that's only if Curt allowed you to. So I mean, it's one of those things.
Finishers aren't.
Yeah, I mean, Macho Man, when he hit that elbow, you were done.
It was over.
When Hogan did the leg drop, you were done.
Like, I think they've booked themselves into this corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, they.
That's my only gripe.
Cody buried his own finish. It was his fault.
Otherwise, it was a great match. I love to see the Undertaker. Even though I wasn't much for the Undertaker. I wasn't much for The Rock either. I don't think he's relevant anymore, but that's just me.
Compared to the guys that we got now, though, it's nice to see them. They're
still it was nice to see them. And then, like I said, the good man or the right man won. He finished his story.
Yeah.
I almost cried when he hugged his mom. I was like,
it was an emotional moment.
And all I kept thinking was, wherever Dusty is, and he's looking down on his son, he is smiling. You did your dad proud there, son.
Yeah, he did. It was a great match.
It was a great match.
It was a movie. It was WWE's Scorsese film or Francis Ford Coppola film or a Steven Spielberg film. Triple H is like, top this, Tony. You can't.
And he called out Triple H, and Triple H and him hugged. That was actually, I thought.
He called out Bruce Pritchard too. I love that.
Oh yeah.
He called out Bruce Pritchard too.
Bruce Pritchard. Yes.
I know that pissed off a lot of people.
I can't imagine Bruce without the red face paint.
And then
Bruce is okay.
And the whole hug with Michael Cole and then Samantha Irvin doing the call.
They were all. Samantha was emotional. It was like she barely could.
I like when he had her announce him twice on Raw. I know we're gonna get to that, but
we'll get to Raw.
Damn it, Cody, you did your dad proud, and I'm damn proud of you. And so is Dusty wherever he is. Wherever he is, he's going. It's hard times. I can't do the accent, but it's hard times.
And then Dustin did it. And Dustin was in the rafters somewhere. Watching it.
I wish he would have came out, but he's AEW property. So,
and I was like, Tony couldn't say, okay, Dustin, be in the ring. It's your family.
Go be with your brother at this really wonderful moment.
Instead, it's like Tony. Instead, he was in the rafters
and kissed Brandy. I'm sorry, guys, I lost it. I'm a chick. I know.
Yeah, it was emotional.
No, I think a lot of people cried during that.
What's funny.
It was almost like the Randy and Elizabeth getting back together. I cried during that too.
At the end, after the match was over, you had Michael Cole and Corey Graves and Pat McAfee, all of them just pushing the words professional wrestling over and over again.
And it was I was like, yeah, let's go.
I was annoyed at first.
Finished his story.
I was annoyed with that until I realized Triple H is retraining the audience to say professional wrestling.
That's right.
Not sports entertainment. Because, that's why they keep repeating it.
Right, because Vince didn't even want to hear the word wrestler.
No,
I'm like,
wrestling
why?
was not
they
allowed.
They are wrestlers. They wrestle in a wrestling ring.
Did y'all see the story where they're gonna make the stage smaller so they can fit more people in the audience?
Yes, I did see
that.
I think that's awesome. And kudos to Triple H for doing
that. The setup looked when they were in Puerto Rico. and when as soon as they came out, they were just surrounded by fans. I love that.
Yeah,
just surrounded by fans. That's how they did it in the territories. Because they literally you had that small of a thing.
It was an entranceway,
wholeheartedly.
Right?
So I'm glad
and that's why you also had to run. The heels had to run out real fast.
That was great.
Yeah, like
I mean, because that's back in the day when they actually believed wrestling was real, and you had to move your ass.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura said that him and Adrian would have to go out in the ambulance. Now that's called heat, baby.
Yeah, they had to find a way out of the building without
make it
dying.
smaller so you can get more fans. I mean, WWE is so hot right now. They're doing what they were doing in the 90s. I can see them filling up arenas, putting asses in seats. That's what it's all about.
19 straight sellouts.
Exactly.
And let me bring this up. And I'll bring this up. So I was on night one. I was playing. I was in my Xbox with my other friends, and one of them is a non-wrestling fan. So he got on the Peacock, but he knows The Rock. He knows that. And let me tell you something. This dude was like, "Yo, Rock, go get him, Brock." He's, I guess he's marking for The Rock. But it just to tell you,
brought back a lot of people.
Rock brought back a lot of people to wrestling.
I had some of my friends texting me too, like, "What am I doing?"
I mean, I came back because of Cody. I will watch it because of Cody, because I really loved his dad, and I'm just like, damn it, okay, I give it to Cody.
The only thing that annoys me,
Cody's good for what he is. I respect what he brings to the business. I just don't think his shtick is for me. But I understand.
That's fine.
We'll get to Raw,
and I get that he brings a lot of money in.
But I mean, he's like his dad in a lot of sense. I could see him being as big as Dusty was.
He's like if you had an AI version of Dusty and plugged it into a robot.
Very funny. All right, I'll give you that. I will give you that.
I like, come on. I like
so phony, man.
I like Cody.
He'll get better, okay? He'll get better.
Like I said, he needed to win. As much as
he needed to win.
Liked Roman as champ more, I understood that Cody needed to win that match.
He needed that win.
I think we were talking about that on X.
Tickets, and he's good. The
he sold.
Kids love him. Kids make their parents buy shit.
Yeah, the Cody American Nightmare.
As soon as he won the world, as soon as he won the WWE Championship, Cody sold like $1 million in merch, according to WWE.
Yeah,
that's why you put the belt on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what this business is all about.
I like that skull thing he has, that mask skull.
Yeah, when he came out, I love that.
Because I collect skulls, not real ones, of course. I don't go to the graveyard and dig them up. But
I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but do you think Cody's going to start acting a little more heelish now that he's got the belt?
In fact, he kind of did on SmackDown, and we'll get there.
I got that impression too.
Yeah.
Who do we think will dethrone Cody? That's too soon to even think about. But if I had to pick somebody,
I would say Gunther or oh boy, that's a good question.
WWE Rock is gonna probably win the championship, but he should put over Cody. Give him his win back.
Win it at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I could Gunther or not Sami Zayn.
It depends how Cody does over these next 3 or 4 months. I think
that's the key. He has to.
Yeah, I mean, sink or swim. You got the belt now, sink or swim.
And that's what he wanted. He wanted to be the quarterback. He wanted to be the champ.
Right.
Triple H, you're the quarterback.
Be the, as I would say, it's kind of like Bret Hart. You're the head of the company now. You're the face of the company. So, ride it out as best you can.
If the storytelling is good, it should work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as long as he has the good matches and stuff, and AJ Styles is a good first opponent to put him over.
Yeah,
all right, so
AJ Styles, maybe Drew McIntyre. No, he's on the other, isn't he?
Well, he's on Raw, and he has a story with CM Punk. He's busy.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, I could maybe Drew in the future, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. There's so much talent in WWE. Yes, there is.
Yeah, there's so much talent. There's so much talent. Yeah.
Yeah, we can pick half the roster. Maybe Braun Breaker.
Even
you can build him up properly
in a couple of years. Maybe.
Even Logan.
Yeah.
So Raw.
I 100% think Logan Paul will be the WWE champ at one point in the next 3 years.
we can all agree sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I said, having him walk around with the belt to all his
socials,
just putting
and
that
especially if Triple H is willing to have a part-time champion, which he is, because he kept the belt on Roman over a year.
Well, and like I said, they can trade it off. They can spend a feud once the draft is over, obviously. But once the draft is over, and have them, do that on and off for. I thought that's what they should have done with Bret and Curt. Especially King of the Ring '93, which is coming up soon. I just have to finish the
pay-per-view
watch along. Yeah, it was a good one. I just think the wrong man won. No offense.
Even
you can make that case.
I'm searching through Wikipedia, and even they say it's like, oh, it's
just
like
be
the
careful.
Avengers
They
Endgame.
have misinformation.
Sometimes. No, I know. For wrestling though, it's fine, but I'm not. That's not a regular source for me. All right, so now let's get to Raw. Cody's the champion. Triple H comes out.
I really like the hey Samantha, can you do that again?
Yeah,
and
that was.
She just calls him the champion again. I thought that was awesome. I was just
I
like
like how they're dropping the Universal part from the WWE Championship. Just call it WWE Championship.
Yeah. I mean that's what they all strive for anyway, right?
Yeah.
I just don't like that they have two separate belts. Boys, that's not what it was back in the day. Even when they had a Universal belt, the champion could go between Raw and SmackDown. That was the deal.
Roman, they gave both belts to Roman because he was so over at WrestleMania 38.
Yeah, Roman kind of forced that other belt into existence by.
Yeah, because Triple H was
like, we need a champ. Like, our TV show needs a champion. Like
USA,
USA was go back and forth.
Yeah, the network was complaining because they didn't have their own champion, USA. So it's like, okay, fine, let's create the world heavyweight title.
But the champion would go back and forth. I mean, when Stone Cold was champ,
well, Roman wouldn't go back and forth.
It wasn't Stone Cold. It was either Stone Cold or Chris Jericho. Well, Chris Jericho was the first one. He was the undisputed champion, which was the shits anyway.
Which was absurd. We talked about this before, but it was absurd.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but it bears repeating.
To get that.
He beat Steve Austin.
That's my other gripe is they split up the belts. No, boys. That was why the champion went between went through Raw and SmackDown.
Right, he beat Steve Austin and The Rock in the same night. That killed the attitude. To me, that killed the business. When Jericho became champion,
because they never should have elevated him. He was, he wasn't elevated material. He was middle card at best.
Top of the business now, the Lionheart. Okay.
Yeah. You see where he is now. Now he's a fat piece of crap who can't wrestle and can't sing, and he's on AEW. Thinks he's the biggest shit that ever hit the wrestling. I went, dude, come on. You weren't even good in WCW.
He needs to go away. But Tony Khan's paying him so much money. He almost feels
and we'll get to AEW, but and what the hell they're doing. But yeah, and then The Rock came out, and The Rock was like, they cut a long promo. Actually, they milked again for like 3 minutes. They stared at each other, did nothing, and then they talked. And
I want to touch your belt, Cody, and I'm like,
that was a callback.
Yeah,
that was a callback. It was
because
but I see what they were
guess
trying
Cody
to
had
do.
done it to him. Can I touch your belt, Rock? Or something?
Right.
Yeah.
But it was
or can I hold your belt, Rock? And I went,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some homoerotic.
The fans were like, "This is awkward."
I was just like, "Okay, boys, enough
you
with
can hold mine if I can hold yours."
Yours. Right? I was like, okay.
That's questionable. That's sus, but okay, a little sus, but all right. Well, I'll deal with it. Then The Rock at the end of the segment was like, "Don't break my heart again," and he gave
don't
him
break
something.
my heart again. I'm like, Jesus, are you having a relationship or are you wrestling? What are we doing, boys?
I think what he was talking about was taking the main event from him.
Yeah, that was what he's referencing because they had an agreement, behind the scenes.
That was a touche. Like, okay, you got one over on me.
Except that Rock, no offense, your time has come.
Yeah, I mean,
you need to put people over. This is not about you anymore, Rock. You were good in the 90s, maybe. I wasn't much for The Rock, but he was a main eventer in the 90s. But I mean, now this is your time to put over guys and get talent over, not just make it about you.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying what The Rock is doing right now.
Yeah, it's
100%.
It's some of the best work he's done. Honestly,
it's refreshing. It's bringing an edge. It's bringing an edge back to WWE.
I thought you were gonna say it's bringing Edge back. I'm like, no, Adam can stay where he is.
No. Edge
he was middle card at best, and he wasn't even a main
exposed in AEW.
Cursing and blood back into the picture when we haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah,
when done right,
the cursing really didn't come from The Rock in the 90s. The cursing came from Austin.
It was Austin.
Brought it back. Like nobody was really cursing.
He brought it back today.
I mean, he even got Cody cursing. You know what I mean?
Like, that's good. That's good. I want to see Cody
and
curse.
I think when done right, that cursing works in wrestling. And
yeah,
so
because that was
no,
taboo back in our day. You know, unless you heard a wrestler was either they had the mic up or like if there's a camera right in front. Because in SummerSlam '93, I know we go over this on my podcast. Curt Hennig was the best, changed my mind. We go over Shawn Michaels and Curt at SummerSlam 1993, and you hear Curt go, "God damn it!" I'm like, oh. And they left it in there.
It's refreshing at times.
The Rock is definitely a narcissist, Tony.
You hear him go, "God damn it, that hurt."
He's so much of a narcissist, he can't help himself acting like a babyface on Twitter, sucking his own fucking.
And that's always weird.
I'm like, dude, stop this. Like, I get it, doing nice things, like, but you're a heel in my world, so stop acting like a babyface. I don't know. That's just me being picky, but yeah.
I don't think anything else happened on Raw. I don't remember. Raw streamed as a fast forward.
There was some
show.
NXT debuts.
Oh yeah, Ilya Dragunov debuted and beat Shinsuke Nakamura like in 4 minutes. Yeah. But he, and again, I like him. He should be in the main roster. He should have been the one to beat Gunther, not fucking Sami Zayn. But
I would have been okay with that.
And I just want to say really quickly that Jim Cornette, kudos to you, and Brian Last had brought up the fact that they mishandled. There's a lot of people they mishandled, and Joe Hennig is one of them. So it was, Michael McGillicuddy, and then it was Curtis Axel. Didn't really go as far as his dad did. So, I mean, let's hope that they actually use people the way they should be and not let them fall through the cracks like they did with Joe.
There's a lot of talent on WWE, and a lot of them are going to fall through the cracks, unfortunately. Unless Triple H.
We love you, Joe. If you ever want to come back, we love you.
To be fair, if you look at the people that WWE released, a lot of them left to sink or swim have sank.
Yeah.
There's only been a few guys that have been able to get over outside of WWE. So when you look at the people they've gotten rid of, I mean, Swerve's over. Samoa Joe's still over.
I don't know how long Swerve is over because most of those AEW fans like this.
Over in his little world, but yeah, there's not. I mean, they were pretty dead on with a lot of their releases, especially in the ones.
Yeah, I don't know how Swerve is over. I mean, most of those guys like the skinny white boys, and somehow the big black guy is over.
And then a lot of times,
they like the skinny white guys over there.
One thing I'm glad they didn't do is I'm glad Joe didn't go to AEW because they sure as hell wouldn't have used him, and he would have been crippled for life because that's what they're doing to their freaking roster.
Yeah, a lot of people. I wouldn't go. Came over have just.
I've heard Mustafa Ali is having a great run in Japan. I haven't seen any of it because I don't have time to watch it, but I've heard a lot of good things about Mustafa Ali.
Japan is definitely different than AEW.
Yeah,
way different.
A lot safer, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. So Ilya was good as usual. Roxanne Perez. Let me just say this: when her music played, it was dead silent in that arena.
No. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't recognize it.
I didn't hear anything. I don't know if you guys heard something when you watched.
She's not a heel.
No, she's not a baby face either. She's just she does moves
in between. Yeah.
Yeah, she does moves. She just does good moves in the ring and has no personality whatsoever.
And she's so small, even the good moves don't look believable.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's back to the
I'm looking
tiny ant.
She must be a really
the little
nice
tiny
Riho.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
And she's trained. And she's trained by Booker T too, which is why they're trying to use her.
It almost feels like one big favor to Booker T.
Yeah, in favor to Booker T, they're using her. And they're pushing her. She's a women's champion in NXT. I'm like, how did?
Well, then get her some meat on them bones, boys, because it's not believable if she's 95
People say
pounds.
that, Tony. She's like an AJ Lee, but she's not connecting like AJ did.
Yeah, AJ was different. I just want to throw that the NXT thing was actually good too.
Stand and Deliver. I forgot about that show. I would have, but yeah, I mean,
I'm just throwing it.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes had a fantastic main event, but that's the only thing I remember from that show.
Dijak and Obafemi and
that was good too. That was decent. Yeah, and Dijak showing off lately. He's been good.
Yeah.
But let's see
what
else.
Gotten a lot better.
So in the main event, it was the fatal four-way to decide number one contender for Damian Priest. Drew McIntyre came out first and called Damian Priest a bondage undertaker. He called him a bondage undertaker.
That reminds me, guys. After he won at WrestleMania, a lot of people, the bisexual Undertaker was trending. I'm like, who cares if Damian Priest is bisexual?
That's
who cares?
That's what Drew.
That's
what
Drew
McIntyre.
He's with CJ Perry right now, all taking pictures. I
yes,
think
about that. I was gonna
wrestling
thing. She's with Rusev's ex-wife or about to be ex-wife. He's been with her.
What does him bisexual have to do with any fucking thing whatsoever?
I don't know.
It's just something funny to call somebody. I don't know.
Drew McIntyre read that. Obviously,
anybody really knows if he's bisexual or not. I think they're just trying to.
If he is, great. I mean, who cares? You know, I mean, he looks like a wrestler. He's doing some good stuff. That's why they made him the champ. You know, he had that Money in the Bank, and that was going to expire. I think someone said. I don't remember.
I don't know
July.
how that works.
In July, okay.
So yeah, he had a year to cash in.
And now he just does it at WrestleMania.
Daniel Garcia and Angelico are wrestling right now on Collision.
Are you watching that? Turn it off.
What do they do?
They're doing this little kick fight where they're both on their backs like little babies, like kicking each other.
The fake kicks that they do.
This shit is so.
We'll get to AEW in a minute because I definitely.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
And we only have an hour left.
Even on TV?
WWE is doing great stuff. You know, they have a little in there, but I mean, they're doing really good stuff. And AEW, I guarantee you, if they don't, I give it maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and I could see AEW folding because they're losing money. They're not doing good work. They're
gonna fold when Papa Khan pulls the plug.
That's the only way they're folding.
That's right.
So then, it's gonna
sorry, Tony.
Yeah.
You got a football team. And they suck too. They haven't won a Super Bowl in years. I don't know. Have the Jaguars ever won a Super Bowl?
Never. Ever. No, ever.
Okay,
they've came
so there you go.
Twice.
They came, yeah. And that was before the Khans bought it, I think.
Yeah.
So that's when they came close.
I think 1 year. Remember when they had Blake Bortles and they almost beat Tom Brady in the playoffs? I think
they were having their run that year.
Team. But that was the closest they've came under the Shad Khan era.
But no offense, I attribute to NFL football has just become wrestling. It's the storylines, and this past storyline,
unfortunately,
it had to do with Kelsey and Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
no one gives a crap about those two.
That was the big story heading into the Super Bowl.
Right. Was it obvious that Jason Kelsey was one of the guys behind that? The match with the Rey Mysterio match.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the
yeah.
He probably pulled politics. It's just like what the wrestlers do now in WWE when they pull politics. You were saying the only reason why these people are in there is because they're pulling politics in the backstage.
Yeah.
Sami and Kevin Owens are great politicians.
Sami Zayn.
All right, so then the main event happened, and fucking Drew McIntyre had the match won when CM Punk grabbed his foot, and laughed at him.
I saw that. And I went, oh.
and that's how Jey Uso became #1 contender for the world title.
But he was laughing too. He was kind of laughing like,
I got you again twice.
I got you again twice.
And Drew fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. It's great storytelling. Yeah,
great storytelling.
Great babyface heel dynamic.
Chef's kiss from me, and I don't usually do that, but chef's kiss for me.
Yeah, so that's how Jey Uso became.
If you would have told me a year ago that a CM Punk Drew McIntyre would be this good, I would have never believed you. But that's
neither would
CM Punk.
I mean, CM Punk, he brings the words in.
He's the most over person in 3 different companies right now.
Right.
Yes,
yeah, but I mean, the way CM Punk left the first time, I mean, I can't believe they let him come back. Because wasn't he telling all the stories about WWE the first time he left? Oh,
yeah, he went on the podcast.
Yeah, they sued him.
Yeah, they even sued him. Yeah, over what he was saying.
So I can believe it. I'm sure Triple H has a big heart, or Paul. I'm sure Paul has a big heart.
Business. That's the difference.
Well, Vince didn't want him
put
back.
That shit aside if they can draw money, and they know that
Vince didn't want him back
with CM Punk, so they were just like, "Fuck it, who cares?"
Yeah, fucking who cares? Let's just do this.
It's all fucking bullshit. It's all kayfabe.
We'll tell CM Punk he can do what he wants. He can have creative control, and let's see where this goes. But they're doing good work. I like WWE. They're doing good work again. This is what we expected to see, and let's hope it just keeps going like that. Because if it keeps going like this, I guarantee you, Angel and Greg and if they keep going like this, AEW will be nothing.
Oh, we ain't good hands.
It'll be an afterthought.
the only reason why AEW came to existence was an anti-Vince thing, because 2019 Raw and SmackDown was so awful
they don't have
that
that
when AEW popped up, it was like, oh my god, thank God, other wrestling, but anything but Vince's Raw and SmackDown.
But it
it was
wasn't like a
awful.
WCW that could give WWE a run for their money.
No, they were
You know
never
what I
going to do
mean?
that. But it
They
was
were
a
still
better.
they were both doing shitty stuff,
there was
and
a
everyone was doing
3-month
shitty stuff.
period where they maybe could have competed with him when they brought in Danielson and Adam Cole and CM Punk.
And Adam Cole.
They had a good
Yeah,
run.
CM Punk, definitely. And then they fucked that
fumbled
up.
all three of them. Yeah.
The CM Punk thing, they totally fucked that up.
I mean,
Bryan
CM
Danielson
Punk was wrestling Daniel Garcia on Rampage, like, you know what I mean?
And
like,
I'm like,
2 weeks after he got there.
I'm surprised. I'm like, why? Why are you doing that, CM Punk? You're smarter than that. You don't need to put over Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, and he's a good guy, and he's a top. He was their top drawing star. He put asses in the seats.
Yeah,
but they totally fucked it up with CM Punk because of the likes of Omega and the Bucks. Fuck those guys. Those guys couldn't even lace up Curt Hennig's boots, and yet they kicked the star out, and Tony Khan didn't kick them out. No, he kicks Punk out.
Yeah, WWE is sports washing Saudi Arabia. Look, I mean, no company's perfect.
Don't Saudi Arabia, don't the people that live there have the right to be able to watch WWE like any other country? I mean, they have fans there. They're people just like
the liberal. The progressive liberal talking point.
You can't blame people that live in that country for like what the royal family does.
What the royal family does.
You know what I mean? Like they're just fucking wrestling fans like us.
The political talking point, right?
Yeah, but
I don't know where to really feel on that. But
are the women allowed to wrestle now? See, that would be my gripe.
They are.
Yeah. At first they did.
Women are allowed to, as long as the women are allowed to wrestle. That was my gripe. I was like, what the fuck?
Outrage because they don't like WWE.
Yeah.
I don't really think any of them really.
But they have to wear. The women have to wear that Power Ranger suits. From here down, they can't show anything. So
but it's still they're allowed to do it now. And
they're allowed to wrestle at the shows.
I mean, wasn't like
that
Bayley
was my
on
only
a poster
gripe
there? Becky Lynch on a huge poster there. So, I mean, that's progress right there. So I mean,
WWE is.
I don't beat up WWE for going to Saudi Arabia like a lot of wrestling fans do.
Well, Vince.
That was my only gripe. And they let him do it. So
the women are barely allowed to wrestle. Sammy couldn't even wrestle there. Yeah, but now he wrestled there because they they came to peace.
They're a big draw. No
Sammy Muslim? Why wouldn't
they sell out those arenas? And
because they were. Sammy's a different kind of Muslim.
Like a Sunni I think he's Sunni. Thing? Are we doing?
Yeah, that's what it was. Sunni Shiite. Yeah, that's why Sammy couldn't get in the country.
Muslim.
No, different. Come on, Greg, listen to my podcast. I'll have that. Well, no, I want to bring back real quick with CM Punk. I think WWE. I believe they had a segment with Punk backstage, and I think a lot of wrestlers, for the most part, welcome CM Punk. Like, hey,
with open arms,
right? And I saw that Randy Orton thing, right? So
Randy Orton thing I talked about last week.
I think they said Drew McIntyre was the only one that was genuinely upset, and that's why they probably turned this into a story.
Drew McIntyre is sometimes a bitch, Right. Get over it, bitch. No, I like Drew. I think he. They said something about he was the only Scottish champion, and I went. Okay, what does that have to do with fucking anything? But okay, whatever. But they're doing good work, even with Punk, with McIntyre, with Logan Paul, and I don't know where Kevin Owens fits in there. I think he was just kind of like he was against Austin, and then he was like an Austin protege or something. Like he mimics Austin for some reason. He has like the Stone Cold Stunner or whatever. But
yeah, he uses Austin finish.
But I would be surprised if that they don't sell out, and they sell out every time they go to Saudi, don't they?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they put asses in seats, and that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter my gripes. My gripe was just that they wouldn't let women wrestle. That was stupid, I thought.
Yeah. So let's get to SmackDown real quick. And so Cody came out and kind of cut that heel promo when he was talking about how now he's the king, and now you have to dethrone the king in order to to become the champion. And I'm like, that's interesting. There's kind of edge to Cody there, which is interesting. You're like,
but
okay.
I don't think that they're going to boo him. It's kind of like Austin, back in the day. No one wanted to boo Stone Cold. I just don't think anyone wants to boo Cody right now.
No, they're not. I'm just saying it's kind of an edge to his character, which is good. He needs that edge because I'm sick and tired of him crying every 5 seconds, especially on Raw. He started crying again. It's like, I get it. You're the champion. And
I can get into liking Cody's character if he gets a little bit more.
Yeah, as long as he has because it was kind of like a Stone Cold Edge. Because everyone expected him to be the cute little baby face, but he was like, "No, fuck you."
Baby face champion.
Yeah. If you have that edge to him, I get it.
John Cena type baby face champion.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Cena,
like a 30-year-old man. I don't think that's not for me. And I get that.
If he has a bit of an edge, maybe I can get into it. But
like Stone Cold's edge. Yeah.
I would.
His father had an edge too.
Like if I would have been in my late 30s during that, I would have been into Stone Cold. Hell yeah. But,
I was into Stone Cold. I love Stone Cold.
Cody's not for me, but that doesn't mean he can't change that. But
if you get that edge like Austin had back in the 90s, when that whole thing stemmed from the whole Montreal screw job, basically that that McMahon thought he was going to be a babyface, and he turned out to be Mr. McMahon, the evil billionaire. So that's how the Austin McMahon thing came out of.
Was a heel.
He was a heel, but then people.
It wasn't until the double turn.
At WrestleMania 13.
WrestleMania 13. And people started cheering him because they saw that edge in him, and then they refused to boo him.
Cheered. I do remember that.
Yeah.
For the double turn.
I see it's like that. I mean, if he can get that edge, Cody can get that edge like that. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite match of all time. If I had to.
By the way, we do next week. We're going to do a deep dive into the Montreal screw job. We have Kit Cabello on.
Kit Cabello because it is my birthday. We are trying to get Nick Cruz also. I didn't even know Nick Cruz was a wrestling fan.
I didn't either until you brought it up. And
he posted a Ric Flair thing, and I went, ugh, I hate Ric Flair. Oh, put Curt Hennig on or something. And I said, well, and then I replied to him and Jay, and Jay said, well, I'm not really a wrestling fan. And
Nick was
Nick was like, I'm down. I'm like, I didn't know you were a wrestling fan, Nick.
I was surprised when I saw that. What?
I love Nick Cruz. I love his little things that he comes out with. I love that stuff.
Hopefully he come on next week too. So
I would love it because it's my birthday. I turned 38, so it's a little birthday bash.
Welcome to the Club 38.
Right, so
I'm not giving away my age.
Well, I think, Greg, you're a little older than us.
I'm 38.
Oh, you are 38. Okay.
Oh, nice.
38 in
August. Look at that.
Yeah, you'll be 38.
I'll be 39 in October.
That's good. Look at that. Dang. Okay, Greg, it must be the hair because I'm way older.
I still got great hair though. I got the hair of a.
All right. Let's get to the bloodline.
You can't see mine because of the red. Yeah.
Let's get to the Bloodline Civil War now, which is upcoming.
Solo.
Then the next thing I'm thinking about is Solo and Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso come out. Paul Heyman does his usual.
Roman Reigns?
Who?
Or did Roman Reigns just knock himself out? Was it Roman Reigns laying in the?
Oh, in the WrestleMania?
In the ring.
Solo came in. But I don't think
that Jimmy.
did.
Oh, they took out Jimmy. I thought they took out Roman Reigns.
Okay, I was like, what? Then Solo.
I got confused.
Solo. Paul Heyman's cutting his promo as usual, and then here comes Solo to interrupt him, and he's like, "Failure is not acceptable."
I'm like, "Well, if Roman Reigns is right there, who are you talking to on the phone?" But it was Jimmy Uso. Okay,
yeah, it was Paul. So, Paul, he's like,
and he takes the phone and he stomps on it.
Yeah, that's later. Paul Heyman is like, he's telling Paul, "Failure is unacceptable. Failure this," and even though I'm like, "You haven't won a match since November, dude."
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible booking by Triple H. He should have put him over a little bit more.
If they
before he did this.
So,
but anyways, they beat up. All of a sudden, he pushes away Paul and looks at Jimmy because he wants accountability. So it's like, then he's like, he hugged Jimmy. It's like, damn, that hug is obviously the hug of death because he's going to turn on him.
I was going to say he was laying out.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, here comes what's his face? Tama Tonga. He debuted beating up Jimmy Uso.
Who I found out is Haku's son.
Haku's son, yeah.
Yes, he's Haku's son.
I was like, I didn't even know he had a son. Holy cow, second generation there. Good.
Yeah, Tama Tonga beat up Jimmy Uso a long time, and it was like, holy shit. I've heard about him. Never seen him wrestle. He's in great shape.
Like, he was in the Indies for a while.
He already called out AEW, so he
said they were like, what was it, a B promotion or a second-rate promotion?
Second-rate promotion. That's correct. That is fact right there.
Sorry, doing a good
job. Truth base.
Yeah.
Base.
So, yeah, he beat the shit out of him, and then he's joining Solo's bloodline, I guess.
Mm.
So
And
Solo's gonna really have to step his game up for this to work.
oh yeah. He because I'm
then
assuming
someone
he's
turned on
leading.
Jimmy Uso, right? Because Jimmy Uso said, "I'm the new leader now," and someone turned on Jimmy, or not Jimmy, the other one, Jay.
I feel like Paul Heyman is gonna have to kind of be what he was for Roman for Solo for this to work.
Well, yeah, he has
I feel
to
like
be.
Paul's gonna have to side with that faction for this.
Yeah,
I just can't see Solo.
No, Solo's intimidating him to stay, basically.
Yeah, Solo's not good enough on the mic to do this on his own. Be the new tribal chief. So,
but he needs to step up, as Red said.
He does.
Because
he
right
needs
now
to step it
it's
up
like,
big time.
yeah, because
this is your
gonna
moment,
work.
bro. This is your moment. Like
they're believing in him because
Roman.
There's gonna be a bloodline civil war when Roman returns. Yeah. Because the way I would book it is Roman reunites with the Usos and Sami Zayn as a babyface.
Yeah, see, I think so too. I think Paul's gonna stick with Roman. I think it's just as you said.
isn't a babyface.
I feel like Paulie's gonna have to do the talking for Solo.
Yeah.
For Solo, it could be, but did you guys see the behind the scenes where Roman was hugging Paul E?
Yeah.
After the main event, second night.
Yeah, after he dropped the belt to Paul and Cody. Yeah. So
I don't know if that was. I don't know what that was. You just saw them hugging. That's it.
Yeah, the bloodline. So it's an obvious War Games match. So you have Solo's bloodline, which is Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, who just signed WWE 2, and has to be somebody else. I don't know who. Versus Roman's bloodline, which was the original bloodline.
It's gonna be The Rock. Do you think The Rock is gonna be in charge of Solo?
What's his name's son, right? The other Fatu that used to run around with Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, the Tonga kid, I think that's his son, isn't it?
That is his son. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure it is. So that's probably going to be the War Games match, and The Rock's going to have to join Solo's.
He's going to join Solo. Yeah,
I think The Rock's the one making
these calls right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be. He's going to be against Roman.
Yeah, he has to. That's going to lead to Roman at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the story, and Roman. To me, Roman has to get beat at SummerSlam, probably by Seth Rollins, to end that war, and then Roman loses confidence and he doesn't show up for War Games. So they're beating up on the heels and the baby faces. Yeah. They did War Games last 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Oh man.
They've been good. I mean,
they have been good because they've had story behind them.
Right.
So have been
good.
Yeah, Roman.
Yeah. When it was in WCW, I thought the greatest War Games was the NWO versus the Four Horsemen, because that's when Curt turned on Ric Flair. But the fact that they took, because they bought out WCW, they could take their.
But Triple H likes the war. Vince never used the War Games. When Triple H took over, he started using the War Games concept of Survivor Series.
He was using it in NXT.
Yeah, right. I was about to say Saturday. Saturday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because they did buy him out, so they could do War Games or Halloween Havoc. I think they still have Halloween Havoc, don't they?
NXT, yeah, they still use that concept.
They do.
Halloween Havoc, okay.
Yeah, they use a lot of WCW pay-per-views.
So AEW tried to rip that off once, I think in the early days, but they called it something else. They didn't call it War Games, obviously. Blood and Guts is what it was. Yeah. So then the main event.
That's coming up too, isn't it? Isn't that like in May?
Yeah, I think so. They have a Dynasty pay-per-view.
They haven't built any story for it yet.
At the end of the month, I think. Which we'll get to AEW. Then number one contenders thing for Cody's title. You have 2 triple threat matches, I think it was. AJ won 1 and LA Knight won 1. So next week it's 1-on-1 to decide number one.
LA Knight versus AJ, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna redo that match.
Any takers for AJ?
I don't know how this is gonna play out. AJ has to feel like they're gonna do some 50-50 booking. I really feel like AJ or LA Knight shouldn't be pinned clean in the middle of the ring, so I hope they find a way. I don't think LA Knight should go lose to Cody either, though. So I don't know. This I didn't really understand.
I wouldn't book LA Knight there because I don't want him losing to Cody. He has to lose to Cody clean if you're gonna do that match.
I don't know what they're plan is. I just hope it involves LA Knight getting screwed over and not looking.
He would have to get screwed over there because I don't want to beat him clean either.
That's what I'm hoping for.
And
I don't want to.
And my concern is always with LA Knight. I mean, he's over. But if he continues to lose on big matches,
well, he won at WrestleMania, which helps him,
which is a good thing. Yeah.
So it's going to be LA Knight versus AJ Styles to determine Cody's first challenger at Backlash France. They're going to France,
Okay, I was going to say, isn't Backlash after WrestleMania usually?
Yeah. So basically, they're fighting for who's going to lose to Cody first. I mean, because he's going to be the champion for a while.
Well, that's why I would take AJ.
Yeah. So that's SmackDown. Now let's get to what everybody wants to talk about, AEW. And what happened last week?
It's the shits.
No, it is. But I want to get
before we rightfully so tear into AEW. I just want to, and I kind of brought this up earlier. Like Cody Rhodes would not be as over as he is in WWE if he had like come over from like TNA or something. Like that tribalism kind of fed into him returning to WWE, and that's why he's over like the way he is. He wasn't over like that before when he was in WWE, and he rebuilt his character, and he went on a rival promotion, and then he went to the others, and it brought back like Monday Night War vibes. And
if you remember,
I really feel like if AEW wasn't around, Cody wouldn't be a bigger star as he is right now.
No,
and CM Punk
seemed to fall in place. Cody
CM Punk wouldn't be back in WWE.
If it wasn't for the
so I just want to say, like, we're all glad AEW
or
here.
Jack Perry.
Like,
they have made wrestling better, despite everything they're doing to fuck up their own promotion.
Oh, that's garbage.
Just being around has made wrestling better and more entertaining for the fans.
Well, I'd like to just say that it seems like
tear them apart.
Yeah, it just seems like it's kind of like when WCW was about to go under. And how they were portraying and trying to tell stories, but the stories didn't make any fucking sense in the first place. It's kind of like that. And Cody he put his body on the line for AEW. Yeah, and then look how they treated him. They kicked him out. And it seemed like everything was working out in Cody's favor. So maybe it was, he needed that. But I just think AEW is such the shits that they just didn't know what to do. Kind of like WCW didn't know what to do with Bret Hart.
And Cody's return to WWE was done perfectly, like to build up that suspense. As you knew he was leaving AEW, you knew he had left AEW. Right. You didn't know if he was going to go back to WWE. They kept a good job of keeping all that under wraps. Nobody could confirm or deny. So, like Cody's return to the WWE was a big part in why he's over as well. But I don't think if Cody say AEW didn't exist and Cody was floundering around in the Indies still and decided to jump back, I don't think he would have made this big of an impact.
Correct. No, it's just that AEW thinks they're the greatest thing that ever walked in. And Angel and I were talking to one of these idiots, and they were saying, "Oh well, they had the best ratings." I went, "Of the channel that only shows like fucking reruns and movies."
Well,
what the fucking hell are you talking about?
Overall, they're like number 3 on Wednesday nights on prime time, and all cable.
Wasn't Cody part of? Wasn't Cody part of building AEW? Like,
he was a founder. He was a founder member.
Yeah, like he
went through a flaming table.
Yeah,
right. So my thing would be what Greg was saying. Maybe Cody was doing this all on purpose for that, that point that you were saying that is true. I think Cody always wanted to finish the job or finish the story.
Yeah,
I think that's always been a thing. Right. But I think he probably kind of talked some wrestlers. Hey, let's do this promotion. I'll be the number 1 guy for a while. Boom, and then look, the rest is history.
I mean, AEW
it just seemed to happen like that.
I don't know if he would have been as well received. And I don't know what went on backstage, so I don't know how much that played into it. But he was pretty much pushed out the door.
Yeah, allegedly.
WWE, right. Yeah, they didn't treat him very nice.
I mean, he probably still would have ended up going. But I don't
allegedly,
know. He
had issues. Moment. Allegedly, Cody had issues with the rest of the Elite, even though he's part of the group, which is why he was pushed out of AEW.
I'd like to know the reasoning behind that. conflict.
I don't think Cody ever talked about it.
I know he hasn't. I'm very curious.
But they also pushed out Punk.
And I have a feeling it probably has a lot to do with the same things CM Punk was saying.
With the Elite.
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes is a lot more diplomatic about the whole thing.
And this is what I think, that the elites think that they're the shits, and anyone else they're just going to push out. If you don't like us, hey, we'll just push you out. They did it to CM Punk. They did it to Cody. They do it to a lot of people. And the fact is, they're the shit.
Kidnapped a billionaire, stole his mansion, and just started throwing parties in there for his friend while the billionaire was tied up in the attic.
What the Elite want to do is they want to play with their friends. They want to play with their friends in fake matches for no reason.
They're not serious.
They've hijacked this promotion. They've completely hijacked this promotion.
Kenny Omega, the Bucks, they're all EVPs.
And they're all the shits.
And Cody was an EVP too, but he's the only one who took it seriously.
Cody was good.
Yeah.
He's the only one who took it seriously, his EVP job.
Yeah, he's the only one who took it seriously. The rest of these clowns are just the shits, but they think they're $1 million and they think they can wrestle. And hey, guys, stick to Twitch because that's all you're good at. You're not good wrestlers.
Omega admitted he's not a good EVP, so it's like
he's not a good wrestler either. That's what I said.
Yep.
And he should stick to Twitch.
So, now let's get to the CM Punk footage.
Go ahead, no, go for it.
It's mean spirited. It's something Cornette.
I love mean spirited, especially when it comes to Omega.
Let's go,
Cornette.
It's not even negative. I was gonna say you should just stick to diverticulitis, but that's mean.
Woo! And I don't even like Ric Flair.
I mean, I don't want him to anything bad to happen to him, but I do enjoy him being gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
How can we miss you if you don't go away, right? Is that what Jim Cornette says?
Yeah.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So on Saturday after WrestleMania Night 1, for some reason AEW announced that the Young Bucks are going to air the All-In footage from London for the first time.
They were trying to steal headlines. I mean,
I was looking at that. I'm like, are they really going to do that? Because that would be everybody will laugh at them.
My first thought was,
and even Jim Cornette was like, "They're stupid if they actually do this."
My first thought was Punk must have been lying about something.
That's what I assumed too.
You want to tell your side of the story? We're going to tell our side of the story. I'm like, oh shit!
Right.
Either it was going to be
go down like Punk said it did.
Yeah, even
it did exactly how Punk said it.
Pretty much.
They literally proved him right, and then they're like, "Oh,
I don't know why
copyrighted. You can't do that.
I don't know why
it's copyrighted." Yeah, because you just literally exposed your dick.
More of a badass, make Jack Perry look like more of a bitch.
Right. You literally exposed your dick. You literally brought your dick out and had your dick in your hands. That's what Jim Cornette would say.
He just said like that. They just slapped like that. Boom.
Anyway, he had him in a headlock and he looked like a little bitch. Just like Jim Cornette said, you literally have your dick out in your hands and you look like a fucking idiot.
How long were those two standing there arguing and nobody was like, hey guys, break it up? Everybody just stood there and fucking watched.
It was like 30 seconds, almost a minute.
Even Samoa Joe, he was right there.
Escalate that situation. Nobody.
Samoa Joe's the one that said, "Hey, CM Punk, let him go."
There were producers standing around. There were agents standing around. Tony Khan was standing around.
Tony Khan should have got up, gone around the table.
Tony Khan, I didn't see him.
His hand, all you see is his hand doing this to make sure the monitor didn't fall over.
How was his stupid fucking life in danger?
Because it wasn't. That's another thing. He wasn't.
What a little pussy bitch.
That was lawyer talk.
What a pussy bitch.
But CM Punk posted mission accomplished on his Instagram, so I'm pretty sure he was trying to get fired.
Right after it aired, CM Punk put up something, mission accomplished, the Bush thing on Instagram. That's exactly what I wanted.
Right, it proved him right, and literally Tony spent the next week trying to get it off of X, and everyone's like, "Oh, you pussy bitch!"
And who had the article?
Pussy bitch.
And who had the article?
Talk about like immediately realizing you made a mistake and
oh shit, I'm stupid.
Lighting a match in a forest and trying to put it out with a water bottle.
I think talking about Hook, I think Taz tried to get him WWE because
Taz
knows
that dude needs to come to WWE because they are doing shit with him. He looks awful.
They're sticking with Jericho, and Jericho's ruining him, just like he ruins everybody else he works with now.
Yeah, because Jericho's a punk. He's a pussy. He's a bitch. He thinks he's the greatest wrestler ever. He's a fat fucking fuck who just doesn't know how to wrestle.
I wouldn't be surprised if Taz is calling up Bruce Pritchard. Hey, Bruce, take a look at my son. His contract's coming up. Take a look at my son. You could do something with an NXT.
They had plenty of time to do something with Hook.
Yeah,
he was over.
Yeah,
when he
over.
Yeah, but I'm like,
Jericho
he looks like
they just put him with Danhausen.
Danhausen for no
Cassidy.
reason.
They never tried to even build him up as a legitimate contender.
But I always thought
they don't care.
He looked like an emo Taz, like his son, like emo Taz, that haircut.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Has anybody ever seen Hook with a girl? Like, for someone that looks like that, he should have chicks around him all the time.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, he should be a character with chicks around him all the time.
Kind of like a Ric Flair or a Rick Rude kind of thing.
I don't think Taz can work anymore, Tony. He has a bad
women
neck.
Find him attractive, so have him either be a heel that's like walking around all these women like the Godfather or something, or
But also put some meat on the bones.
Develop that character. Do something with him.
Yeah,
give this guy something. Put some meat on the bones too.
Punk. Like you have something there. Like you could do something with Hook, but they don't.
Talking about Jungle Jackoff, they did the New Japan did a show in Chicago. I think it was just a few days ago.
Yeah, my clip got taken down.
And New Jack. How's a New Jack?
They were chanting.
Jungle Jackoff came out with CM Punk's logo on his back.
Oh, jeez, come on.
That's the second person who's using CM Punk to get over.
Yeah,
I mean, like CM Punk said, I don't got to put another guy's name on, a shirt to sell it, and that's Jack Perry and McIntyre are both capitalizing on
Jungle Jackoff sold
ways, but they're both capitalizing on.
He moved merch for the first time ever with the Scapegoat T-shirt. And
sold out.
Because of CM Punk.
That's the only reason
why you sold. Yeah, it's not because you're actually over.
They sold all 20 of them.
Right, I was about to say they only made 5 of them.
Yeah, they sold all 20 of the shirts. And it was Pro Wrestling Tees selling them, not AEW shop. So, I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous. AEW should be selling those shirts.
So, once again, there was no plan in place to actually make any money off this.
AEW should be selling those shirts. Why the hell is Pro Wrestling Tees doing it? I mean, why is Tony allowing
Colt Cabana made the money off CM Punk.
Why is he allowing that? It should be an AWshop.com and everybody should be buying from him.
Nobody cares about making money in that. I'm pretty sure that's why they hired that guy. To try to make money. To try to somehow make money. But they they got a lot of loose ends to tie up.
Halfway to that match, the fans were like, "You got choked out," and they kept cheering.
Dave Meltzer said they were saying "fuck CM Punk."
That's bullshit.
CM Punk is gonna go, "Oh, you bastard!" He's laughing all the way in the bank.
He was trying to say, "Oh, they weren't chanting for CM Punk. They were saying fuck CM Punk."
No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, but
they were chanting for his name.
And I was like, Dave, there's cell phone footage of what happened.
Punk's laughing all the way to the bank, baby.
There was
He's
no
going.
There was a few fans booing, and then the majority chanting CM Punk.
CM Punk. He's a
Dave
star.
Meltzer immediately trying to
too late. You should talk to Tony Khan about that.
AEW has this problem with stop pissing on my leg and telling me it's raining outside. Like Tony Khan goes on Twitter. Oh, we got a 28% boost in the rating. This was a success. No, it wasn't. You got 50,000 more people to tune in. That might have just been a fucking error. And then, that's
and every time the Bucks come on, a whole bunch of people leave.
Impact. We'll see.
I just wanted
to
see
if the number goes up next week. Then okay, you can say this was a small-term success. But in the long term, all this did was embarrass the company and make another guy in another company even more over with wrestling fans than he already was.
Right.
It makes no sense. And then
he's laughing all the way to the bank. CM Punk thinks it's the fucking funniest thing he's ever seen.
Then John Moxley became the IWGP Heavyweight Champion at the end of the show. He might as well buy New Japan at this point.
All his guys are the champs. I think another AEW guy won a belt.
Someone said that John Moxley should go to WWE. I said, well, he's got to stop kissing men
That's
first.
never going to happen. They would.
No, he's not going
back.
back.
I'm just saying. That's what they were saying on X, and I was just like, well, tell him to stop freaking kissing women or kissing men and saying that he's married to a woman.
He's ruined his character so much that they would never take him back. He's made himself so unserious. They couldn't take him back and make him a serious character with it. He's already done too much damage.
I mean, if you're a straight guy, stop kissing men.
He's a joke.
It's like, what is he doing? It's like, and then he thinks he's judo badass. So it's like, because he can't do a job now in AEW.
He's getting choked out by waiters at Chili's.
He got choked out in 30 seconds in a judo show, in a real judo contest. I'm like, what are you doing? You got choked out.
Embarrassing the business. Just embarrassing the business.
Yeah.
Imagine any New Japan star getting caught, New Japan champion getting choked out on a video. That would never happen. New Japan is falling off.
New Japan is cold as ice
like
right
a
now.
1990s New Japan champ. Like you're
no,
not seeing that.
No,
like,
Antonio
you want to put
Inoki.
the belt on this guy to represent your company? All right.
I guarantee you, Antonio Inoki's turned over in his grave, seeing what they've done with his company.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's putting the belt on Dean Ambrose or John Moxley, whatever he calls himself now. It's a joke.
Just another garbage indie promotion.
That's what it is.
I mean, stop kissing men. It's a little retarded. And then saying, "Oh well, my wife is Renee Moxley Good," as Jim Cornette says.
Renee,
I love that dude.
Oh, to be fair, it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu contest. It wasn't just judo, so my mistake there. And he still got choked out in 30 seconds, though. So
yeah,
some guy.
He's not a serious person, and I'm glad they don't take him back because that dude needs to just go away. Stop kissing men and saying married to
Tony might as well buy out a New Japan and own it too.
Yeah, he's already made all his guys champ over there. I mean, he's bought all the good ones and put them in AEW, and the
Ring
guys
of Honor
he has nothing to do with are champs in New Japan.
Yeah, he might as well buy out New Japan.
Yeah. It's all one big.
And then he complained. Then he complained about Vince taking over all the promotions in the '80s. I'm like, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're doing the same fucking thing. Shut up, and yours sucks. At least Vince had a plan and a vision.
And Vince gambled with what little money he had left. He could
right,
lost
and WrestleMania, and if that was a flop, we wouldn't be talking about it. But I mean, you have to take a chance.
Going into that show ever in his life.
But Tony Khan is never, not even close to Vince McMahon.
If Tony Khan would be bankrupt, if AEW couldn't get their ratings up, I think there'd be a little more incentive. There's no incentive in AEW to do anything because it's all guaranteed contracts.
It's shitty wrestling, shitty storytelling. Everything's the shit.
And Tony always get more money from Dad. It's like, oh, Daddy, give me another couple $100 million.
And the other thing is, the people who can sell and put asses in seats, they get rid of them.
The Elite
Well, that's not going to help you fucking idiots.
They've chased them. They're always going to have their 700,000 strong.
Yeah. And I saw that CM Punk thing with Jake Paul here. That was cool.
Now, half of them don't tune in on Friday or Saturday for whatever reason.
Well, no offense, but their fans need to learn how to argue and stop being personal about stuff.
Yeah, no, they'll just call you isms.
Defend it.
Yeah.
But don't
just
talk
call
about
you isms.
If
you don't like
this,
their favorite
this
wrestler,
one
you're an
dude.
ism.
Yeah.
This one dude's called Steph an anti-gay or an anti.
Yes, and I was saying anti-gay slurs. I went saying I don't. Yeah, he's like, you said I don't care that you suck dick. I said, how is that a slur? I don't give a fuck if you suck dick. Go ahead, go for it. I love.
What are we talking about?
that guy that was arguing with Steph last night.
Did you guys see that little thread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like apparently saying that I don't care that you're gay is now a gay slur.
Wow.
In someone's mind.
That's why homophobia isn't even a thing anymore because they devalued it to that.
Yeah, he called me a homophobe.
Remember when you had to
homophobe?
Yeah, he's like, you must have read my profile because I said, dude, I didn't read anything.
Homophobe, like now you just
stupid.
Right. Now you just not have to like
he tried to say, I'm autistic,
gay wrestler.
And I said, my son is on the spectrum, you idiot. What does autism have to do with AEW and the fact that it's the shits?
And I told him you shouldn't.
And he kept projecting his shit. He's like, obviously this person doesn't know what projecting is. Yeah, he doesn't know what it is though. He's like, how am I projecting? I'm like, you literally
people don't know when they're doing it.
Yeah.
No, it's usually like a psychological thing.
They lack the self-awareness to know that they're literally spilling the beans on themselves every time they lose it. Something that small.
Yeah.
And insignificant.
And then he's like, well, and I was like, what does that have to do with anything?
Come on, Tony. I mean, she don't give off homophobia vibes.
I don't care.
Let's just be honest. Nobody likes to see two guys kiss. That's not homophobic to say that.
No, I don't like it either, honestly. It's like
not something anybody, I don't even think gay men want to see that. Like, it's not, I don't even like seeing guys and girls kiss in public, but you ratchet it up a notch when it's two guys. No, it's just not what people want to see.
I don't
It's
care.
not homophobic to think that.
That's all I said was, I don't care if you suck dick.
It's homophobic to go up and punch two guys kissing. That's homophobic.
Yeah, that's.
It's not homophobic to be like that.
Say I hate gays. They should all die. That is a anti.
That's what homophobia used to mean.
That's not what I said.
For this generation, bastardized every word in the dictionary.
For everything.
Right. And that's not what I said. What I said is
we've
I don't
gone
care.
off topic, but
I don't care.
No, we're the cool kids here.
These words don't mean anything anymore, and
that's right.
fans are a prime example of it.
But yeah, but if you wanted to,
if you want to come on,
defend,
Tony, it'll be later on because we're about to wrap up in a few minutes. But we'll let you. Yeah, it's like half an hour before I have to go. But yeah, I mean, if you want to come on, it has to be another show because we're about to wrap up here in a few minutes. But
yeah, we gotta get back to these words actually meaning something and like actually doing something to deserve that title of homophobic like that.
I mean, it doesn't affect me at all. I don't care if you eat pussy or suck dick. I don't care. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I don't care either.
He's calling me a guy too. He's like, "You're such a guy." I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure I'm a girl." Last time I checked.
Who knows?
Legit.
Hey.
I'm a legit.
You can be whatever you want.
So
you can do whatever you can fancy. Whatever tickles your taint. Isn't that what Jim Cornette says? Whatever tickles your taint.
You know what's funny? Because I'm in New York, so I'm in New York. So New York, we have like 30,000 pronouns. So
yeah, I
usually do.
Shit coming out of
so I do. Right. So I do like a little rip on the people on the left. Where I would say, hey, I'm a girl now. So they look at me like,
you make them play by their own rules.
Right. Hey, that's what you guys told me. Hey, I
can make them play by their own. And then you shine the mirror in the ridiculousness of it all.
Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, but there's certain things I don't agree.
A troll. That's what you are. You're a troll.
Yeah.
But it's for
trolling the trolls.
It's an educational troll.
Right.
Because you're just like, come on, this is what you're doing, guys. Like,
but everybody assumes because I have Curt, a guy as a picture on my ex that I'm automatically a guy. Yeah. Well, if I'm gay for Curt, that would be.
Well, then we got a lot of anime girls in the community.
Yeah,
a lot of anime cartoon girls in the community.
Yeah. Well, I like anime, but I wouldn't put it in like I would just put a picture of me.
I'm not creative enough to think of anything else to put other than my picture. So like, I guess I'm old school. That's what
Curt Hennig was the best podcast.
You didn't use like any. You just this is me.
And in my bio, it does say I'm female. I'm a female fan of Curt Hennig. Legit, But
you probably get like 100 more followers if you switched Curt Hennig to just a picture of yourself. Just because the IWG is so thirsty for a woman.
I don't picture well. Sorry.
I don't think it's. Are you like, ooh, it's a girl.
Are you saying
one of those girls?
Yeah, that's like a girl.
I think so.
I've heard about you in the wild.
To get those fanboys, I'm attractive enough to get those fanboys.
Well, I just think there's just like a lack of women in the IWC, and I think it's a commodity.
Yeah.
Despite how
there is a lack of
anybody is.
Unless you're like that Denise chick who does videos for no reason, but other than that,
Salcedo. She somehow scams all these people into getting a new job at every different.
Yeah, she works for everybody.
I got 4 jobs. Thanks. I'll stick with them.
But yeah, she offers nothing. Like
really doesn't.
She really does. She's making it work. Fake it till you make it.
She's like, she's mostly, oh wow, guys, look at this, look at what happened with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
What do you
That's crazy. What do you think? And that's it. I'll see you later. In the comments section.
Yeah, she's useless.
She offers really nothing.
I like your little snippets, Angel. You're just so quiet, so calm. I'm just like, no, I'd be yelling. No, I love it, Angel. I watch those little clips all the time.
Yeah, I'll try my best to watch some of his clips. Wasn't wasn't you, Angel?
CM Punk footage, that was good.
The one where CM Punk defeated Jack Perry that we saw.
Yeah, I put that up.
Did you get a copyright?
I watched it twice. I was like,
I put it up, and
I was like, wow.
Did they copyright it yet?
Yeah,
did they take it down?
No, not yet. No, not yet. I haven't gotten a copyright thing yet.
Oh, good.
I thought about taking it down. I thought about taking it down when they started copywriting it.
He's on Coke binge right now. He's copyright striking New Japan shit. He copyright strike Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay, yes.
Will Ospreay
copyright his
strikes
on Tony, yeah.
Ostrich.
So Tony, they're on one right now. They're on one right now.
Talking about Ostrich, I mean, he cut a promo on that AEW show. He was butthurt about what Triple H said about how he didn't like the grind.
Tony Khan told him to go out there and say that. And
allegedly.
Wow.
Well, he's done that.
I would
Tony Khan is butthurt. Say that Tony Khan fed her some lines to take shots. So I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's because Tony Khan is butthurt. He's butthurt that he's getting his ass kicked in ratings.
I don't think the Young Bucks wanted to do the fucking CM Punk footage because they knew how it looked too.
They knew what was going to happen.
Schiavone probably told Tony Khan this is a bad. I guarantee you,
Tony Schiavone
was
like, Tony Schiavone's like this. He's like this, dude.
This is a bad idea. Everybody told him that. And he still did it.
And he still did it.
And
Taz was like
surprised if he went out there and reminded, hey, Will, what do you to get them all pumped up? Hey, you remember what Triple H said about you? Maybe you should go out there.
And do about it.
And Triple H don't sweat it. That's the thing. No one in WWE gives a shit. They're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, and then he said something to the effect of, at least he's in the position he is. I can't do a British accent because he's humping on the boss's daughter,
which is ironic.
Because they're married. They have 3 girls.
Because
it makes no sense.
Triple H is laughing all the way to the bank, dude.
And then I posted.
It's like water off a duck's ass.
I posted that meme of Triple H smiling like.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what
because that's like, I did it. And, I mean,
wait a minute, Tony.
They are not taking this shit to heart, and AEW is a joke in itself if they think that bothers Triple H.
That whole production was a joke. What was that shit that popped up during the Edge match? It looked like a little mini golf course or something. Were they trying to make fun of Pat McAfee and just fucked it up?
I guess
pretty much. I mean,
the whole thing with Edge, right? They can't even produce.
Or Adam
and
Copeland.
Then they cut Edge's promo off in the middle of it and just cut away to the ceiling.
Yeah, but even Edge was Adam. Even Adam was like bitching about the whole WWE thing, and I'm like, dude, you were middle card at best. You weren't even a main eventer. You and that Christian Cage really fucking sucked. You were the shit.
I'm telling you, Tony Khan probably wrote that shit, man.
Probably.
Yeah, he probably told
Adam Copeland showed up to work. It's like, I got to go out there and do this, Tony. No, that's not what happened.
Especially because WWE was so good to Adam Copeland.
Paying me a lot of money.
Even if they didn't make him a main eventer, but he wasn't. He was middle card at best.
He got to work with Undertaker in the main event of WrestleMania.
Somehow he made it to the main card. Somehow he made it to the main event. I'm not really.
It was Paul Heyman.
It was tag team with Christian when I stopped watching the first time.
It was Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman booked him on top on SmackDown when he was the head writer.
I was like, Edge is the champ? What the?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, and they always been pushing him for a while.
It was Pauline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coming out of the fans and shit.
Edge. Yeah, Paul Lee pushed Rey Mysterio that time, and Edge, and who else? Chris Benoit, who WWE won't say his name again.
And that's the thing that
Eddie Guerrero,
said that
a lot of
Rey Mysterio only became champ because of Eddie Guerrero's passing.
Yeah, he won the Royal Rumble that year.
That's a story, natural story to tell based off of something
and then
like that happened.
I didn't say I agree with it. I'm just saying that's what they said.
The only
reason
it could be
true. I don't know.
The only reason why Ray became the world champion because Randy Orton fucked up again, and did drugs or whatever.
Of course, Randy.
To punish him, they put the belt on Ray and made Randy eat the fall. Randy ate the fall,
Well,
and Ray became champion.
And that's what happens when you fall off the wagon, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
Look what they did to Triple H after the whole click thing and what the heck was that called? The final curtain call. Look what they did to Triple H. I mean, Triple H was supposed to win the King of the Ring. Who won the King of the Ring? Austin. So wrestlers have to pay their dues.
Yeah, Ray
they don't have
to
be like their friend. Triple H is not your friend. Triple H is your boss.
Yeah.
And he knows what the hell he's doing because he had to pay those dues.
Yeah, Ray wasn't scheduled to win the world title. The only reason why I won it because Randy Orton fucked up.
Hey, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, that's fine. We have another 10 minutes to talk. So
yeah, I just wanted to say real quick about next week. It is my birthday, guys, so it's going to be a birthday batch. We're going to have Kit Cabello. Are we also going to have our wonderful guests here?
I hope so. I mean, more the merrier. I mean,
the more the merrier. And maybe Nick Cruz. We're in the works with him.
Nick, hopefully we can get Nick.
Really good things coming. Like I said, next week is the birthday bash, and we're going to talk about Angel.
The Montreal Screwjob. We're gonna do a deep dive into that next week. We're not gonna talk any modern wrestling next week. That's
everything is old school. We're gonna do and the homework for you guys, and I'll tell Greg when he comes back. The homework is look up on the Dark Side of the Ring.
Happy birthday, Steph.
Thank you. Yes, 420 is my birthday. So we're going to do. I would say your homework is to listen to the Jim Cornette He has an omnibus about the Montreal Screwjob. The Dark Side of the Ring about Montreal Screwjob. Anything. Also, Hitman Wrestling with Shadows had it because they were actually doing a documentary on Bret at the time of the Montreal Screwjob. So
which was like, whoa.
It's like, yeah, they were kind of confused. They're walking around what the fuck are we doing?
I remember that shit like it was yesterday, man.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it more next week. But I was watching live that night. I'm like, what happened? Like literally, what JR said.
So
what happened?
The Survivor Series.
Yeah, kind of. You know, the statute of limitations has passed, so we had one of those boxes. You know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So Greg, next week for my birthday bash, we're gonna do the Montreal Screwjob. So some homework for you if you're
gonna come on,
brush up on the Montreal Screwjob. Okay.
No,
I was gonna say you could do the omnibus that Jim Cornette did.
Yeah,
or the
I know a
Dark
lot
Side of the
too,
Ring.
but I need to brush up.
Ran through it all.
Yeah, I saw the Dark Side of Wrestling thing. That was pretty cool.
And we're gonna have everybody here. So these guys and this guy, and we're gonna have Kit Cabello, and we're also hopefully gonna have Nick Cruz on as well.
Oh well, hopefully he can make it. Yeah, I mean,
hopefully he can make it. So
he said he would come on at some point. He didn't really get the date, but hopefully he can come on this next Saturday.
Hobbs out again on Rampage.
Definitely coming back to troll y'all. Okay,
who?
I mean,
Great. Who?
Hobbs. They're about to job Hobbs out again.
Oh come on!
Oh dude, come on.
Will Hobbs is, he's a star.
At least he's losing.
Why didn't he just go to WWE? Seriously,
yeah, he's a fucking star. I mean, his moveset is unique. His look is unique.
Rack now.
Yeah, see.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, he took Lex Luger's torture rack.
Yeah, he asked Lex Luger to use the torture rack.
Get out of town. Well, see, that's what they do. They take their stars and they kick them out, or they job them, or I mean, like literally, all the shitty wrestlers are.
Have you noticed the trend in how people in AEW naturally get over? It's from being underutilized so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's how FTR got over. That's how Ricky Starks got over. That's how Swerve got over. That's how Samoa Joe. That's how all these guys get over. Organically,
WCW
it's by the
2.0.
fans being like, "Hey, Tony, fucking use this guy right." And
use him right.
He does,
and then
you would have
he kills him off.
To WWE. Now WWE has to step up.
I've noticed a trend. Like that's how a lot of guys get over in AEW, just from being.
He's gonna kill off Swerve next.
I know that's where it's headed. I mean, these guys. You have to realize Tony Khan is not a good booker. Just like Jim Cornette said,
no,
he's not good at this.
Terrible at it.
Someone needs to take those books from him and say, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to actually make you a real competitor for the WWE. Otherwise, you're going out of business, Tony.
He needs to go back booking his E-Fed. He's doing his E-Fed 20 years ago.
That's still a lot on anybody's plate to book.
He's not Vince.
Shows good.
I mean, that's why Dusty did it. Dusty was a good booker, though. Flair did it and he sucked. So,
but they only but those guys only had to book a territory with like 20 or 30 reps. You know what I mean? He's booking 3 shows,
right?
All by himself, like that. Like SmackDown and Raw have their own separate booking teams or writing teams.
Yeah, Dusty was early WCW.
Like he's doing all this
really early before
himself,
Flair, though.
So, there's no way it could be good. You're stretched way too thin for anything to
because
be good.
The booking after that was Hogan and Bischoff.
It's like you're turning in your homework assignment. The night or you're doing your homework assignment the night before it was due, and you're just turning something in.
Unfortunately, Tony,
you're just doing anything.
It's not right, but it's due.
I
read
Wednesday. The book. The book was good.
Here's what I'm turning.
There's my homework.
It's turning in bad homework.
And you know that they didn't read the fucking book.
Will Ospreay, Will Hobbs, and Wardlow needs to go to WWE. Triple H would take them and turn them into big fucking stars.
Superstars. I guarantee you.
I mean, there's a few more that you could.
Triple H is salivating. Ricky Starks, another one should go to WWE.
I sounded like Vince McMahon. I guarantee you, Austin. No, I'm kidding.
Tony needs help, but he doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't know how to delegate.
I hope these guys wake up and know that Tony Khan is not. He's not.
He's going to ruin their careers.
Billionaire playing with like toys.
No one person can book 3 shows good. I don't care who you are.
It's impossible.
Get the ghost of Bill Watt, and nobody's booking 3 shows good.
No, it's not happening.
Bill Watt.
It's not
too much for any one person.
All right, well, Tony needs to delegate. I don't know how he's going to do it. He never will. That's the thing. He thinks he's Vince McMahon.
He thinks
he could do all this stuff at once.
He's never even. He was just a fan, and the problem is when you're just a fan and not in the business. Kind of like I was telling that guy last night. Look, Jim Cornette's been in the business. We're just fans. We only see one side of it, unless you know someone who was in the business. But unless you're in the business yourself, you're not going to know what the hell you're doing.
I have an uncle in the business. He's like 30, 32, 33.
You lucky shit.
No, lucky. No,
is he doing indies?
Yeah, he's doing indies in Massachusetts.
Wait, you have an uncle that you're older than?
Yeah, because he married my aunt, who's like in her 55. So
see, but love is love.
Love is ageless. That in my family.
Yeah, right.
Because my man is 66. My man is 66, and I'm 38. So, or I'll be 38.
Love is
ageless.
But he's the Massachusetts heavyweight champion or something. My mother showed me pictures all the time. Like, we gotta get him on the show. I mean, I just thought of that.
Dude, I would love that, dude.
Yeah, I have to talk to my mom and see whether she can reach out to him or something.
Nice.
That'd be awesome.
Nice. Yeah. One person I'm really trying to get on the show, Bret Hart.
Oh yeah,
I would love to talk to Bret, especially on my show, because I want to hear about all these ribs that Curt used to do to him.
Yeah, he's in the business, and I'm like, awesome. Why is he gonna? He's like 33. He's like great shape, and I'm like, maybe younger. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, he's in his like late 20s, early 30s. I'm like, why does he try out for WWE? I don't want him going to AEW. They'll ruin him quicker.
No,
he's in great shape.
They'll ruin his body. Yeah.
No. He's in great shape. He has great physique. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I would love to see him in maybe in NXT. Start there and then work your way up.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I got to talk to my mom and see whether she can reach out to him. Maybe I get his information. So we'll see about that. But for now, next week we're talking about the Montreal Screwjob. So. Yes. We're going to get Tony. We got to get you on the show at some point. I don't know when. Maybe in a couple weeks. But yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about Montreal Screwjob. We're going to deep dive.
Can you have all these people on? We'll have.
I think the maximum I can have on is 10 at once.
Awesome. Yeah, so, I think that's how much I can get on too.
The COVID days are back, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
hey. I refuse to lock down, baby.
Yeah, I hated it.
Not doing it. Like, but I agree with you because
really had to do it. Texas
love is ageless because my man is 66 and I'll be 38 next Saturday. So.
Nice.
Love is ageless.
Yeah.
Love is love.
But,
my girlfriend's older than me too, so I can't.
Yeah, I mean, my brother, his wife is 10 years older than her or him, and they have my niece will be 18 this year.
See, she tricked me. I didn't know. Like, I thought maybe like she never had kids, so like she was just she looked like she was like maybe a couple years, but then I found out she got a fucking DUI and I bailed her out and I saw what year she was born. That's how I found out.
Oh, wow.
We were like 4 months into it.
Does she not want kids? Does she not want children?
And I was like, all right, that's fine.
You're 38, you'll be 39 in October, right? So she's 48. So does she not want kids ever?
She just never had them?
No? Okay. I was going to say, my man and I are like, well, if it happens, it happens. So... If I come on one time and I'm and I announce it,
Well, we all have girlfriends who are older than us, I guess. Tony says the same thing.
I don't have girlfriends.
I like older women.
You know what I mean?
We have spouses or soon-to-be spouses or whatever.
We got 5 minutes left. Anybody else want to, chime in about something real quick before we wrap up, or?
We want to
say, get everybody, to watch next week, and we'll have our A team plus Kikabello, maybe Nick Cruz. So tune in. Everybody, tell your friends, hit the like button, subscribe.
Yeah, please hit the like button, subscribe.
Share this content with everybody all your wrestling fans, and let's boost our numbers.
Please, some of my friends were asking about this, and I was like, I mean, they don't really know too much about wrestling, but they're like, yeah, I'll give it a try. So my friends might be watching.
Okay, well, we're pretty entertaining, so
I try to be.
But we try to be. So
try to give a good joke once in a while.
I'm pretty sure Kit's definitely confirmed he's coming next Saturday.
Yes, he is confirmed. Yes, he definitely said.
Nick isn't.
The other plans he said they fell through. So Kit Cabello, we love you.
Okay,
he's gonna talk
Nick,
probably.
Nick Cruz isn't confirmed yet, but hopefully we can get him next week.
No, but hopefully we can get him. We will definitely confirm it on X here as much as we can. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could get Nick because it's funny. When I came across Nick and CJ, the Revolution and Blackout Network, they remind me so much of ECW. They were like, with these extreme songs. And then I'm like, I could resonate with that. I'm just saying.
I like that content.
Right.
I'm like, Kit, or are you talking about Nick?
Nick and
Revolutionary Blackout. Yeah,
because that's how I came across. I came across Angel, then Kid. I don't know who I came across. Angel
I just saw that he had posted something about Ric Flair, and I was like, "Ew, Nick, come on, Mr. Perfect was better,
reached
right?"
out to him.
And then that's when I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't know Nick was a wrestling
I didn't know
fan.
either,
and I literally just was like, "Well, you guys are welcome to come on if you want to," because he was replying to like JB
Font.
JB Font, yeah. And he was replying to him, and JB was like, "Well, I'm not really a wrestling fan." And then I saw I'm down. I'm like, oh,
Nick is down. I'm like, whoa. I was surprised by that.
That was like hurt.
Sorry, such a good compare. Yeah, ECW Nick.
Yeah. On this match.
Yeah, that match.
I hate the forearm shot. Why can't they just fucking throw a work punch, man? Like,
oh no, that's the worst.
Because they can't.
It's
this is modern wrestling. Remember, Greg? It's modern wrestling. It's
they do it in WWE too. Some of them,
I know.
In WWE, they're doing it.
I hate it everywhere I see it. Just throw a fucking work punch.
Just throw a
Nobody
fucking work
did
punch.
that in the 90s.
It's happening more now.
And Greg Valentine actually showed you how that they open their hand a little bit, and that it doesn't hurt as much.
Like that. It's kind of like
that. Towel up and
they don't open. They don't close their hand all the way. They open it up a little bit, and that it looks more real.
Tony, real quick, that's what I say. Wrestling is like politics. I mean, I have old video on that on my channel.
The point is that, unfortunately, rich people rule the world and want to ration us poors and make us slaves.
Did you guys see they're about to go to World War III apparently with Iran attacking Israel?
Israel attacked Iran.
Civil War last night in the theaters. Are y'all gonna go see?
No, I haven't seen the movie yet.
I saw the trailer. I was like,
maybe I'll see it when it comes out.
The reason why the border is open is because they want all of us poors to fight amongst ourselves, while the rich keep going to the bank.
Right.
More or less.
So the thing is, we have to love our brothers and sisters. Right, and we have to love our brothers and sisters, even though the immigrants are being treated better than us. We all have to come together and rise up and start.
Well, I think that right. I think
Marie Antoinette.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the issue. That once if we do rise up, like people are on the same side, they'll use that civil war.
We make those rich people nervous. We'll make them real nervous, and trust me, they'll change their tunes.
But I tell you.
It's amazing if like we just got
Iran just.
Are we cut off now?
Iran launched. And be like, fuck those guys. Like,
real quick, Iran launched missiles and drones at Israel today
in retaliation to the embassy.
Yeah,
so
and the embassy attack.
Now they got their war with Iran,
and now the administration.
They wanted Lebanon and Iran. Well, guess what? Now he just got one.
Biden ran to Washington to meet with his generals and try to figure out what to do.
I feel like we're about to get blackmailed into fighting this war.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're just going to send you to die.
In 2003.
They're going to send us all to die.
No, I mean, like, our
in jail because I ain't going
to get blackmailed into fighting this war.
Israel.
I mean,
they'll just enlist you. They'll just say you have to fight. Period. It's like the Ukraine thing.
About, like,
no. Right. Like they'll vote for Biden.
I mean, like, we could just easily say no, right? Like, y'all figure it out.
Well, the citizens will say no, but the government will say yes because we have to back Israel. We are Israel's butt buddy,
Which is why the generals getting together trying to figure out how do we do this war? How did we convince the Americans to actually send their children to fight?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I say we send politicians' kids to die first.
Yeah, we don't like both sides. I mean,
there's no good guy to a lot of people in this.
And then I did my last podcast was Operation oh my god Mockingbird, and it is like we back 2.0 3.0.
All right, I gotta get you back on my show, D, and next week is episode 50 of Angel in the Afternoon. So,
all right,
I'm trying to get multiple people.
I was just going to remind you that you didn't do one yesterday.
I didn't do one the last 2 weeks. I didn't do one the last 2 weeks because last week was WrestleMania.
Well, yeah.
And then this week And then this week I got caught up in the CM Punk thing, and I have nothing.
Okay.
So I was like,
I was gonna say I'm looking for him. I didn't see him.
Yeah. Yeah, so next week's episode 50. I'm trying to get multiple people to come on. Maybe have, shoot the shit. It's a big episode,
Right.
so maybe UD and Steph, you're able to come on, but we'll talk about it. But
talks politics. Let's get it.
Yeah,
I mean it's 4/19, my aunt's birthday, so April 19th is my aunt's birthday.
Okay, well we'll figure it out. But for now, I do have to wrap up. It's 10:00, and we got the UFC 300. Not sure anybody else is watching, but
I'll be watching.
Off to the bar.
Right, well, I'll be watching.
Look at these.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching.
Montreal
Next week,
Screwjob and my birthday.
Hell yeah.
And Steph's birthday. So see you guys next week on Pro Wrestling Talk,
Bye,
episode
guys.
10.
Thanks
episode
for
10,
in.
by the way.
See y'all
Thank you
next
for
week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Ten.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Peace out.